I stole someone else's reincarnation ticket. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51: A New Year's Letter to Book Friends. I wish you all a happy new year, academic progress, career advancement, smooth relationships, happy families, good health, and everything goes well. The most important thing is to make a lot of money. When you get rich, you will have some meat to eat. This chapter is an event chapter. You can get Dragon Balls to earn millions of book coins. There will be 3 chapters in 10 minutes. Chapter 52: If you hadn't fucking obstructed me halfway, would I have only scored 700 points? At night, Zuning memorized a number. 31. In half an hour, it will jump to 30. Li Yang slept very comfortably. The college entrance examination was finally over. When he woke up the next day, he saw Zuning bringing back breakfast. Li Yang took a look and immediately said, "Who drinks winter ginseng and black chicken soup so early in the morning? What's the meaning of the wolfberry in it?" Zuning smiled and said, "My parents asked me to take care of you. You were tired last night, so I gave you some tonic. Are you a little outrageous? I just massaged your shoulders yesterday." "Yeah, I know, I just massaged your shoulders, I didn't do anything else," Zuning emphasized it specifically. But the tone was better than not emphasizing it. "So you suddenly turned over when I was massaging your back, and you didn't tell me, so you can blame me." Yes, it's all my fault. I shouldn't blame you. I won't tell anyone else." Li Yang, if he wasn't really hungry, how could you be so angry? Grabbing a bun, taking a bite, and then suddenly pinching it, well, this feels normal. The one last night was like a 6 yuan 12 steamed bun. Your steamed buns have B+, huh? I thought it was A, haha, no wonder your test scores are so bad, you can't even tell A from B. Just study hard for me during the summer vacation, and I'll find some connections for you and arrange for you to go to the best remedial class." After Zuning finished speaking, she picked up a bun, picked up Li Liken and Wang Kiping's clothes and left. She was a lot tougher, after all, she really had an imperial edict in her hand. Moreover, she saw Li Yang's serious study side, and she also knew that Li Yang learned very quickly. But the time was too short, and I'm afraid he didn't show it this year. And she happened to be a school teacher, and she relied on connections to get by. She treated Li Yang to 2 meals, and she could almost arrange Li Yang to go to the best remedial class. Li Yang ate the buns, drank the soup, went to the front desk to check out, and prepared to go around the school. The answers to today's exams were out, and although he didn't need it very much, he was ready to pretend for the last time. Candidates who don't care about grades are not good students. In this student age when walking depends entirely on legs, 3 kilometers is not tiring for him, and he arrives there unknowingly. He still has more than 1,000 yuan in his hand, which can be used to rent a house for 3 months for a few hundred yuan. As for going back to his hometown, forget it. The town of his hometown is more than 10 kilometers away from the county town, which is far less convenient than the county town. In the school canteen, he printed a copy of his father's ID card. His mobile phone number, bank card, and even what should real name authentication are all his father's, because it is convenient to withdraw money. So it is reasonable for him to have a photo of his father's ID card. He walked to the senior high school teaching building and found that many of the students coming and going looked familiar. Basically, those who care about the college entrance examination will come to the teacher today to get the answers. Even if the estimated score is not accurate, they can have a rough idea in their minds. He saw that the car that picked up Zhang Bangsha last time was parked directly at the door of the office. A little closer to the office, you can see many teachers and students gathered together. As for who is surrounded, it goes without saying. 4 students who have the potential to be admitted to Tsinghua and Peking University, the teacher will calculate it very clearly. How many points can I get for reading comprehension, and how many points can I get for composition? 4 students, remembering the answers to the exams from the previous 2 days is also a basic exercise. Take a look at the order of the answers, and recall the questions a little bit, and you will know what you have done. Li Yang saw Liu Dao, and he stretched his head to squeeze over there, and didn't even notice that Li Yang, his enemy, had come. He also rubbed over and found that it was Zhang Bangsha who was doing the questions, and there was a teacher checking the answers. This is the most accurate way to estimate the scores, and Jiang Bangsha is able to reproduce all the answers to the exams, including reading comprehension and composition. After estimating the scores in this way, the error is almost negligible. There are so many teachers present, and they know better than anyone how many points they can give. Jiang Bangsha may have come very early, and the English paper has been reproduced, and the comprehensive science paper has also been reproduced. She made a lot of mistakes in English, and only got 124 points on the paper, and it is estimated that there will be an error of 1 or 2 points. The comprehensive science paper was directly enshrined as a god, with 291 points, and the answers to the comprehensive science paper were basically zero error. Now they are reproducing the answers to the Chinese language test. It is time to write the composition. Jiang Bangsha has already finished most of it. Even if Jiang Bangsha did not perform exceptionally well, he should have scored around 125 points in Chinese. In this way, the total score has reached 540. At this moment, Jiang Bangsha suddenly sniffed, then stopped writing, and shouted in surprise through the crowd, "Li Yang, how many points did you get?" While speaking, Jiang Bangsha handed a copy of the answers to Li Yang. Li Yang was really confused. He clearly saw Jiang Bangsha writing the composition seriously, so how could he suddenly lock onto himself in his vast mind? He did not squeeze in. Do I still need to estimate the score? With your poor scores in English and Chinese, it's easy for me to surpass you. Li Yang still reached his hand through the gap and took the answer. Jiang Bangsha said in disbelief, "You should look at the answers. You may have made mistakes due to carelessness." The reason why Jiang Bangsha said this was because she went back last night and reviewed the test and found that she had made a mistake in one of the math multiple choice questions, and it was not a difficult question. It is very common to be careless in exams, but it is different in the college entrance examination, especially since she did not want to hand over a love letter to Li Yang. She had a psychological expectation for her Chinese score, which was at most 130. If she had not made any mistakes in the math multiple choice question, then she would definitely have scored more than 690. However, that multiple choice question was worth 5 points. Even if she could get 130 in Chinese, she would still be a little short. Jiang Bangsha's memory ability is good, but her use of language is very average. Otherwise, she would not have come up with the trick of making up celebrity vocabulary. Her composition is all supported by her good handwriting. Of course, her performance in these two subjects is not bad, but compared to this level, it is a drag. Li Yang had already sensed the murderous intent, so he took the answer, glanced at it casually, and said, "About 700 points. Looking at your condition, unless you get full marks in math, don't even think about getting more than 690 points. Really 700, Jiang Bangsha was half believing and half doubting. Compared to her, others were completely skeptical. You, Li Yang, dare to say that you got 700 points? Do you think this is a 5,000-point system? Especially Liu Dao, after being scolded by Li Yang, his whole mentality was completely blown up. Hearing what Li Yang said, he immediately shouted angrily, "Li Yang, what are you talking about? The repeater is not in this office, go to the next door." Li Yang said unhappily, "What am I talking about? Liu Dao, if you hadn't fucking obstructed me halfway, would I have only scored 700 points? Chapter 53. When I get 700 points, you can take it for granted that you can flatter yourself." No one would doubt Li Yang's score if he said 500. But 500 is not very lethal. To Liu Dao, Li Yang's score of 700 was just to disgust him deliberately. Anyway, the college entrance examination results will be released in 16 days. In these 16 days, even if Li Yang said that he could get 740, no one could refute it. 750 is not okay, because no one believes it. The teachers in the office began to sympathize with Liu Dao for having such a student. Li Yang's previous response to Liu Dao about his low salary was still vivid in everyone's mind. No one thought Liu Dao was wrong. After all, they were colleagues and the other party was an experienced teacher. Liu Dao came over like a mad leopard, with gloomy eyes, and pushed Li Yang. "Li Yang, get out. Let's settle the score." Li Yang patted the place where Liu Dao had just pushed him, and said, "Okay, I just want to settle the score. But Liu Dao, with your physique, I can beat 10 of you alone. You'd better call a few helpers, otherwise no one will take you to the hospital later." As soon as these words came out, the whole office was shocked. Li Yang wanted to hit someone? Even Liu Dao, who was so angry that he was about to lose his mind, was a little scared when he saw Li Yang's size and looked at his pitiful 2 tails of meat. This grandson doesn't really want to hit me, right? There are teachers who have been beaten, but this rarely happens in elite classes. Some teachers in ordinary classes turn a blind eye to the scoundrels in the class. They can come or not on weekdays. Sometimes they wake up suddenly when they are sleeping in the classroom. The teacher will first suspect that the teacher is talking too loudly. The main thing is that there is really no need to provoke those people. If he gets beaten up, even if he is expelled from school, he still has to bear the loss himself. Before the eve of the college entrance examination, most students are minors. Although criminal responsibility cannot be avoided after the age of 16, would someone who dares to beat a teacher care about this? No one knows about the scolding by Li Yang yet. But if he is beaten by Li Yang, he will definitely become famous. No one laughs at him openly, but even when washing feet in private, he has to mention that teacher Liu was beaten by a student. If he really quarrels with someone in the future, he can be invincible by saying, "You were beaten by a student. Li Yang, I have been a class teacher for so many years, and you are the worst student I have ever taught. I am ashamed of you." Li Yang laughed. "What the hell did you teach? What else did you teach besides finding a seat for your daughter? From beginning to end, I didn't hear half of the knowledge you talked about. You didn't study hard, and you blame me." Liu Dao found a breakthrough. Li Yang counterattacked, "What should I learn from you? If I learn from you, I'm afraid I can't even get 600 points, let alone 700 points. Liu Dao said, "Don't flatter yourself. You don't even deserve 600 points, let alone 700 points. How come Jiang Bangsha is so good at math? How come she can always be the first in the grade? Haha, I don't know who is flattering her. Jiang Bangsha's math score has nothing to do with you. That's because your mother taught her well. If you are awesome, did your Liu Meng solve the last big math problem? You are so shameless that you let her sit at the same table with Jiang Bangsha all the time. And you are unwilling to teach her some special questions." Yu Dao Ying, who was standing next to him, thought Li Yang was a little too proud at first. But when she heard him say that she was Jiang Bangsha's mother, she suddenly felt that this guy was quite sensible. Unlike some people around him, who talk about stepmothers all day long. Which teacher would teach such a question that is beyond the syllabus? Li Yang looked at Dao Ying directly and said, "Jiang Bangsha's mother told her, but she is not a professional teacher." All the teacher's eyes were focused on her. Is there anyone who can really solve the last big math question? Jiang Bangsha is a loyal fan of Li Yang, and nodded immediately. "My mother did tell me, and I got the last big question right." Dao Ying, I want to cry for no reason. This is the first time in all these years that Jiang Bangsha has called her mother. Why can't she vent her emotions in such an occasion? At this time, the attention of all the teachers was suddenly diverted. Because Jiang Bangsha's situation is already very obvious, the only math question that can stump her is the last big question. Now she has solved the last big question. That's a full 12 points. When Jiang Bangsha was writing the composition, the teachers had already given the approximate scores for other questions. As for the composition, it didn't go off topic, but it was written in a standard way, with beautiful handwriting, and it was probably around 47 to 52 points. At least 125, at most 130 based on this score. If Jiang Bangsha didn't solve the last math problem, theoretically she would only get 678 points. This score is not enough to get into Peking University or Tsinghua University. But if she solved it, she would have an estimated score of 690 points, which basically means she is sure to get into Peking University or Tsinghua University. Is she really going to get into Peking University or Tsinghua University? Many teachers didn't have much confidence in Jiang Bangsha. Her shortcomings were obvious and there was no way to make up for them. As a result, she used her talent to make it out. Even Liu Dao was shocked. He finally made it? He finally brought someone to Peking University or Tsinghua University? Teacher Liu, congratulations, our county has had a lot of students sucked away by the neighboring schools in the past 2 years. If we get into Peking University or Tsinghua University this year, we may be able to keep a few more good seedlings in the fall. You are a hero of our school, a teacher flattered him in time. Liu Dao also enjoyed it very much. He finally made it out of his life. The bonus this year will definitely not be small. In the future, I will be able to teach the elites of the senior high school repeater class stably. I don't have to worry about it. They will learn by themselves, and the passing rate will be very high in the end. But he was still in the joy of this matter. Li Yang suddenly said, It has nothing to do with you. Why are you pretending here? With the two tails of knowledge in your stomach, you can never teach a student from Peking University or Tsinghua University in your lifetime. Everyone has thick skin. You can still say that I am your student. When I get 700 points in the exam, you can naturally flatter yourself. At this time, Liu Dao finally couldn't bear it anymore. Jiang Bangsha is going to be admitted to Peking University and Tsinghua University. What is he afraid of? This is still a conservative estimate. What if Jiang Bangsha scores a few more points in Chinese? According to the admission score of Peking University and Tsinghua University last year, 683, even if Jiang Bangsha didn't get the last question right, she would still pass the line. Jiang Bangsha is the king of comprehensive science. Bah! Mr. Li's queen. Li Yang, do you think I want to teach a student like you? If it weren't for the school's assignment, I would have kicked you to the ordinary class. Jiang Bangsha's last math question has nothing to do with me. Those 12 points don't count. She can still pass the admission line of Tsinghua University and Peking University. What about you? But don't worry, I have to save face. If Jiang Bangsha is too far away from the admission line of Tsinghua University and Peking University after removing the 12 points, I will definitely not flatter myself. As for you? Even if you get 750 points, it has nothing to do with me. You are the biggest shame of my life. A shame that cannot be washed away, even if I teach 10 students from Tsinghua University and Peking University throughout my teaching career. Chapter 54 Because I have eyes on the back of my head. Liu Dao was really furious, otherwise he would still pay attention to his appearance in front of so many teachers. Damn, it's his bad luck to have this grandson Li Yang. Li Yang said angrily, don't say such things, people who don't know would think you are so magnanimous. Just because I went to Jiang Bangsha for advice and took up your daughter's time, you dare to kick me out. Also, how many times have you reported me to expel me in the past few years in high school? If you really have the nerve to say that I am your student, what's the difference between me and the mangy dog at the door of the school cafeteria? Li Yang just made up a story. It didn't matter whether it was this reason or not. Anyway, it was his daughter who reported it. He didn't even leave the dormitory the next day and was directly hit back. He was busy at that time, busy reviewing his lessons, and he couldn't give people the impression that he was still thinking about making trouble. Now the exam is over. Liu Dao stared with his eyes and his teeth chattered. If his small body couldn't really withstand Li Yang's fist, he would have fought directly. Fortunately, other teachers came to the rescue immediately and shouted at Li Yang, Li Yang, are you done yet? You even scolded a teacher like Teacher Liu who is kind to people. Do you still have a conscience? As a student, do you still know what morality is? Li Yang snorted, what does it have to do with you? Oh, you are the teacher who licks Wang Manqi, right? Tisk tisk, you are so shameless, a teacher licks a student. Has anyone ever held your hand? Wang Zigan, he came to the science teacher's office today just to watch the fun. In case he really gets into Tsinghua or Peking University, he will build a good relationship with the relevant teachers in advance. Just when he wanted to flatter Liu Dao, he was directly exposed by Li Yang. What nonsense are you talking about? Don't bring the tricks you learned in society to campus. Wang Zigan was only 27 or 28 years old, and Wang Manqi happened to be his student. He knew something about Wang Manqi's family background. Anyway, as long as Wang Manqi graduated, the two would no longer be a teacher-student relationship, and the whole world could not control it. Li Yang, haha, Wang Manqi looks down on you. Wang Zigan became anxious and hurriedly said to the teacher next to him, Teacher who, look, there are actually such students in our school. Teacher Liu has suffered so much injustice over the years. Teacher Wen Teacher Sun Dao Ying has witnessed Li Yang's fighting power today. These teachers in the third year of high school are the backbone of the entire number 1 middle school and are closely related to her husband. At this time, it is really hard not to speak up. She said to Li Yang, maybe you have been wronged in school. If you have any evidence, you can report it directly to the Education Bureau. If you just want to vent, you can wait until you get 700 points in the college entrance examination. Li Yang said, if I get 700 points, what can I do? You are Jiang Bangsha's mother, I don't want to say anything unpleasant. Does it mean that I can do whatever I want if I get 700 points? Can I make Liu Dao kneel down and apologize to me? If not, why do I have to get 700 points? Liu Dao can make up stories for a trivial matter and directly drive me out of the classroom. So I can fight back. I deserve to be wronged. I deserve to be scolded by my parents and laughed at by my classmates? Liu Dao is a human being, so I am not a human being, right? Dao Ying sighed inwardly. It's like getting into trouble. Li Yang continued, you should be very clear about the relationship between Jiang Bangsha and I. May I ask, are we in love? The Song dynasty has been destroyed for more than 1,000 years, but the false accusation is still there? Let me put it bluntly. If I hadn't asked my friends to dig up the math questions of some schools in other provinces, would you have told Jiang Bangsha the last one? Jiang Bangsha worked on that question for 2 weeks and wrote dozens of pages of draft paper but still couldn't solve it. There are only a few similar questions on the market, and there are more than hundreds of millions of math questions in the country. Do you dare to be sure that Jiang Bangsha can find that question in the last half month? Is it important whether you believe that I can get 700 points? You have never considered my thoughts at all, and now you all stand up and act like saints. Although what Li Yang said was not harsh, it was not very pleasant. He had already subsided, otherwise he could let Dao Ying see how terrifying it is to be a keyboard warrior for more than 10 years and only break the defense once. At this moment, Jiang Bangsha suddenly said, I believe you can get 700 points, Li Yang. He was in a very irritable mood today. He wanted to settle the grudge with Liu Dao, so he was naturally not in a good mood. When Jiang Bangsha said this, there was a smile on her face, showing her neat teeth and a firm look in her eyes. Li Yang laughed after seeing it, but I don't have confidence that you can get 690 points. What should I do? Jiang Bangsha immediately said, what? That's impossible. I got all the math questions right. I can definitely get 690. She was stubborn. After all, the college entrance examination scores haven't come out yet. What if there is a miracle? The 5 points lost in math due to carelessness may be made up from other places. Although it is difficult, her scores are given by teachers of various subjects bit by bit. Even if there is a deviation, 2 or 3 points is a lot, and it is difficult to deviate by 5 points. Li Yang grinned and said, if you can't get into Peking University or Tsinghua University, you'll be jealous of me dating there. No. If I don't get in, I'll repeat my senior year and I'll definitely go to Peking University or Tsinghua University to find you. You promised me to take me on a relationship. What the hell? Let's talk about it after we become adults. Li Yang didn't want to stay here any longer. Jiang Bangsha had changed his feng shui, and it was no longer his home ground. Seeing Li Yang was about to leave, Jiang Bangsha quickly got up and chased after him. Wait a minute, let's have lunch together at noon. Dao Ying could only hear Jiang Bangsha's voice getting farther and farther away, accompanied by a silver bell-like laughter. She knew that her relationship with Jiang Bangsha was being distanced again. Although she didn't say anything excessive, and even just wanted to ease the atmosphere, her stance was wrong. When it comes to family affection, it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong, it only matters the stance. She felt that she had made the second stupidest decision in her life. The first stupid thing was to believe that Zhang Yaoding would wait for her Li Yang. You can actually get 700 points. What do you really believe in what I say, huh? Jiang Bangsha raised her eyebrows and said, then one I guess. Yeah, you might win. Are you happy? Jiang Bangsha didn't laugh this time, but stammered, originally I should have been happy, because then my chances of winning would have been better. But actually I'm not that happy. You said that if you can get 700, I can get 690, right? Ha ha ha. By the way, there's one thing I've always been confused about. I just quietly squeezed over, with 3 layers of people inside and 3 layers of people outside. How did you know I was coming? Because I have eyes on the back of my head. You're so stupid. Thanks to the 2 friends for being the leaders. Thanks to 321,323,315, Flower Season Wind, Dream of You, Judge Big Buyer, for the rewards, and thanks to the friends who voted for the monthly tickets. Please keep following me for a few more days. I'm sure there won't be a drop left after the book is put on the shelves. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55 Summer Vacation Tuition. On the basketball court, Li Yang and Jiang Bangsha sat next to each other, each holding a cup of milk tea. Li Yang raised his milk tea and shouted to Wu Xianqi on the court, "Friend Wu Daoyao, I'm sorry." Wu Xianqi hit the ball with a clang, and missed. He was quite like a little blacksmith in Los Angeles. He protested. Why? Zhang Bangsha said, we cheered for you when you scored. After that, she took a sip of milk tea and showed a happy expression. Wu Xiangqi felt weak and sore all over. This guy, why did he come to the basketball court? He didn't play basketball after coming here. He decided to pull Li Yang to the court. Fuck. Wu Xiangqi suddenly sat on the ground, holding his ankle, with a painful expression on his face. Li Yang watched Wu Xiangqi with his eyes wide open, and limped to his side. Damn, I sprained my ankle. Friendly Dao, please take over for me. I play small forward. It's okay if you can't play, just stay in my position. Li Yang, I can't play basketball? Who can't sing, dance and rap? And what on earth is Wu Xiangqi crazy about? His performance just now was a bit exaggerated. So he is not only a little blacksmith in Los Angeles, but also has a trick-like smart ankle? This guy actually has two terrifying holy bodies. He really has itchy hands, and only when he can barely catch the basketball can he feel satisfied. Zhu Ning's side cannot be said to be small, but can only be said to be exquisite. After all, it is above the average. He put down the milk tea and went directly to the court to communicate with the people on both sides. This is a 4v4 half-court game, no points are counted, but most of them are students with sports expertise. Li Yang is familiar with them, but that was in his previous life. After finding the person to guard, the game began. Zhang Bangsha stared at the court and asked, Wu Xiangqi, I remember Li Yang can play basketball. Why did you say he can't play just now? Wu Xiangqi said, Li Yang plays with us, and most of the time he plays as a power forward and a center. He doesn't move fast enough, and his ball control ability is not good enough. A small forward needs to float outside, which is a very unfamiliar position for him. Of course, if it's an ordinary opponent, it doesn't really make any difference, but today these people are more capable and can find him. Oh, before Wu Xiangqi finished speaking, Zhang Bangsha exclaimed. He glanced at the court, and Li Yang played a smooth game. He easily passed the opponent and made a layup. Wu Xiangqi, when did this guy become so skilled in ball control? Where did he practice? His 30,000 yuan training course didn't have this effect. The next second, there was a clang. Li Yang jumped high and dunked the basketball that should have bounced out of the basket. Fuck, Zhang Bangsha didn't understand basketball, but the dunk just now was so cool. Wu Xiangqi stood up and walked towards the court. Your leg doesn't hurt anymore. No, it doesn't hurt anymore. If it hurts anymore, that guy will pretend to be awesome. Wu Xiangqi could tolerate Li Yang being more handsome than him, having better grades than him, having more girlfriends than him, and being taller than him, but he couldn't tolerate this guy being better at basketball than him. Li Yang hadn't even started sweating yet. After being replaced by Wu Xiangqi, he returned to Zhang Bangsha and asked, that guy didn't touch my milk tea, did he? If it had been a little later, he would have moved. I saw him reaching out his hand little by little. Haha, luckily I started early, otherwise this cup of milk tea would have gone to the wrong person. Yak. The two continued to watch the game on the court. After all, it wasn't time for dinner yet. After a while, Zhang Bangsha said hesitantly, Li Yang, actually my mom is a pretty good person, but she only stood on the teacher's side because of my dad's identity. Li Yang asked, what does your dad do? He works in the education bureau. Zhang Bangsha said a little embarrassedly. Oh, that makes sense. Jiancheng's student population has been declining. It used to produce 2 students from Peking University and Tsinghua University, but only 3 in the past 4 years. Most of them have been taken away by the neighboring county. There is a top 100 high school in the country next door, which produces more than a dozen students from Peking University and Tsinghua University every year. No matter how bad Liu Dao is, he is an excellent teacher who can teach the elite class of senior high school. It is normal for Dao Ying to step forward to ease the relationship. Zhang Bangsha asked tentatively, then you are not angry, right? Angry. She criticized me, and I criticized her daughter. Yes, then you come. Dao Ying has always been close to Zhang Bangsha. She has also come to terms with her stance. Zhang Bangsha has finished the exam and completed her mission. She is definitely right to stand on Zhang Yaoding's side. While Zhang Bangsha was chatting with Li Yang, she sent a message to Zhang Yaoding. Xiaxia's estimated score is 690. Zhang Yaoding, really? Dao Ying, several teachers are here. Xiaxia copied the answers to the college entrance examination, except for the last math question. However, The last math question is very difficult. Xia solved it and it is likely to be full marks. Zhang Yaoding, it would be great if it really is 690. No one in our county has ever scored over 690. We can promote it this year and attract some students to number 1 middle school. Dao Ying, you only care about students. Students, Zhang Yaoding, how could it be? You, Xia and Duang are all the most important people to me. I will go to reserve a seat at noon and have lunch with you, then I'll go tell Xia. Dao Ying didn't tell what happened in the office. It was just a small matter. Li Yang and Zhang Bangsha were destined not to have much intersection in the future. She walked over and heard the two chatting over there. Li Yang said, "Forget it, I won't criticize you for Chinese. Can you explain to me why you lost 9 points in comprehensive science?" I calculated the last question of a big physics question wrong, and I didn't read the biology multiple choice questions carefully. Zhang Bangsha was being criticized. Li Yang, what did you say? There are difficult questions in physics? Isn't the last question very simple? Just a few formulas, a simple pendulum period formula, a kinetic energy theorem, and then a calculation based on the law of conservation of energy, and the data will come out, right? It's just that the answer is a bit complicated. These are all basic questions, Zhang Bangsha said embarrassedly. I copied a wrong data, which led to the wrong calculation result. What about the multiple choice questions? Aren't biology multiple choice questions simple? They're all word games, me. Zhang Bangsha, you can tell me how stupid you are. Come and make up lessons with me during the summer vacation. I heard that the entrance examination questions of Tsinghua and Peking University are not simple, and it is written in their admission brochures. If you fail the entrance examination, you will be directly rejected. Then you will become a joke. There is such a thing, Li Yang said seriously. Of course there is, although there are only a few rejections in the country, and Tsinghua and Peking University have not rejected anyone because of the entrance examination so far, but the admission brochures of most universities do have such a clause. He was afraid that he would be the only one to be rejected, so he had to go to this university in this life to see what the charm of this girl was. Everyone who had gone to the university said she was good, and they even formed a contempt chain. Chapter 56, Your stance is neither right nor wrong, so why do you insist on judging mine? Dao Ying was in a daze. Li Yang was actually criticizing Zhang Bangsha for not doing well in the exam? And from his tone, the college entrance examination was easy? If you don't get 700 points, you don't have the confidence to say such a thing. Xia, your dad has reserved a table for lunch and asked me to take you to dinner, she shouted from behind. Zhang Bangsha immediately replied, no, I want to treat Li Yang to lunch at noon. Dao Ying was helpless. She couldn't force Zhang Bangsha to do anything. Okay, I'll tell your dad if you need me to take you there, Zhang Bangsha said. No, we'll eat at the school gate, okay, soon. Dao Ying left without talking to Li Yang. Zhang Bangsha asked for credit. How was it? Was I cool just now? Li Yang smiled and said, cool. He didn't point out Dao Ying's little trick. Zhang Bangsha clearly said that she wanted to have lunch with him when she left the office. It was unnecessary to come here and ask, wasn't it just for him to see? Then how about we go to the internet cafe tonight and stay up all night? Okay, he is just a student. Isn't it normal that he can't see the subtext? After a while, Wu Xianqi was called, and the three of them went to the school gate to have a meal together. Zhang Bangsha also wanted to thank Wu Xianqi for sending milk tea and borrowing his mobile phone. But after lunch, Wu Xianqi had nothing to do. Zhang Bangsha was going to go home to change clothes, because she would go to do some adult things with Li Yang later. At this time, Zhang Yaoding was looking at Zhang Bangsha's re-examination paper. After confirming that there were so many points, the whole person was indescribably excited. Our family is finally going to have a student who will be admitted to Tsinghua or Peking University. When I was studying, I dreamed of going to that school. Now Xia has helped me achieve it. It's Xia and that Li Yang. Zhang Bangsha didn't come at noon, and Dao Ying told him about this. He was very resistant in his heart, but Zhang Bangsha was very competitive this time, so it was not convenient for him to say anything at this time. Dao Ying said, it's okay. I'll take care of the villain. Don't worry about it for now. When Li Yang needs to repeat a grade, I'll come forward to talk to him, Zhang Yaoding asked in confusion. How to talk? Li Yang scolded Liu Dao in the office today, and Liu Dao will almost certainly have to teach an elite class for repeaters in the second half of the year. Li Yang wants to repeat a grade, but he has offended Liu Dao, So it's basically impossible. I will arrange for his repeating at that time, and he has no reason to refuse. If he doesn't go to school, he will only get further and further away from Xia. Huh? From what you said, you mean you want to give him a chance? Zhang Yaoding had no intention of giving Li Yang any chance. His daughter deserved to show herself on a bigger stage. Dao Ying smiled. It's not really an opportunity, but seeing that Li Yang has worked hard and helped a lot, I want to leave him with something to think about. When Xia goes to college, there will be so many excellent people around him that he will soon be forgotten. Unless he works hard for a year and is admitted to Peking University or Tsinghua University. Do you think that's possible? This is not a targeting, but after analyzing the current situation, she made a move that would not disgust Zhang Bangsha and could quietly settle the matter. At this moment, the door opened and the two stopped talking immediately. Seeing that it was Zhang Bangsha who came back, Zhang Yaoding immediately said with a smile, Xia, we didn't have lunch, so let's have dinner together tonight. It just so happens that I took half a day off today and I want to spend some time with you. Zhang Bangsha said, No, I'll come back to change clothes. Li Yang is waiting for me downstairs. Zhang Yaoding's face changed immediately. But at this time, Zhang Bangsha had already entered the bedroom. He winked at Dao Ying, and Dao Ying had no choice but to go over and knock on the door, saying, Xia, can we chat for a minute? The next second, Zhang Bangsha opened the door a crack and asked, What to talk about? About why you deliberately called me to dinner. Aunt Dao, I've finished a college entrance examination now, and I don't want to be restricted by my family anymore. I also have my own judgment. I know who is good, who is bad, who I can play with, and who I can trust. Zhang Bangsha's words made Dao Ying's heart sink. She had clearly called her mother in the office before, but now she hurriedly said, I didn't mean that. Zhang Bangsha said impatiently, Not yet? I clearly said that I would invite Li Yang to dinner at noon. When I lived with Sister Ning, he always brought me lunch. I told you this a long time ago, right? As a result, you suddenly came to call me back. What does it mean? Zhang Yaoding came over and said, I asked your aunt to call you. It has nothing to do with her. Zhang Bangsha asked back, You mean, Aunt Dao is your vassal, right? She has no judgment at all, right? Do you have to make me behave like a good child so that you will be happy? That's fine. I don't have to go out with Li Yang at night, but I will contact my biological mother and ask her to arrange for me to go abroad. I will study abroad in a while. Zhang Bangsha has had the idea of studying abroad for more than half a month. Since she found out that she had a younger brother at home last time, she had this idea. Although her biological mother didn't treat her very well, at least she really belonged to her. Zhang Yaoding frowned. He definitely didn't want his daughter to go abroad. Now that she has been admitted to Peking University or Tsinghua University, going abroad is simply asking for trouble. If she fails and she doesn't want to repeat her studies, maybe studying abroad can still impress him a little. But it's only a little, and he will definitely keep his daughter in China. Thinking back to what Dao Ying said just now, he felt that he couldn't bear it anymore. At this time, he had to show his cards. He asked seriously, Xia, why Li Yang? Do you think you and Li Yang will have any future? Zhang Bangsha said, It's very simple. When Liu Dao framed me, whose side did you stand on as parents? Liu Dao said that we were in love, and you believed it. You took my mobile phone, and finally didn't let me go to school, and then drove Li Yang away. I feel very sorry for my friend, do you know? I feel wronged, do you know? I think it's because I have overbearing parents that he was implicated, Dao Ying explained. Teacher Liu will not treat you badly after all, right? Is he very good to me? He arranged his daughter to sit at the same table with me for more than 2 years, and I was so annoyed. Just because I drank a cup of milk tea, she went to tell on me. Is this considered good to me? I don't care if you parents have your own standpoints, but if you don't consider me, why should I consider you? When did we not consider you? For you, we dare to turn on the air conditioner at night after you fall asleep, pick you up and drop you off at school every day, and buy you whatever you like. Can't we be a little negligent? Zhang Yaoding felt his daughter's rebellious mentality for the first time. Zhang Bangsha said, What if I was the last in the class? Would you still be so cautious for me? You even hid your child from me. Zhang Yaoding and Dao Ying fell silent for a moment. Zhang Bangsha continued, Do you know what Li Yang did the first time he saw me unhappy? He called Liu Dao and scolded him. Do I need you to be cautious? What I need is someone to stand in my position and protect me without hesitation after I have been wronged. Your position is not right or wrong. Why do you have to distinguish right from wrong from my position? Because Liu Dao is an adult, a teacher, and a class teacher, so he is right even if he is wrong, and you can find reasons to tolerate him. Just because I am a student, I am your daughter, I am wrong even if I did nothing, and my explanation is just a sophistry. After saying this, Zhang Bangsha closed the door, and a few minutes later, she came out after changing her clothes. She changed her pants into a skirt, the shortest one in her closet, a 5-point skirt, just reaching her knees. The top was also changed into a t-shirt, which was tucked into the skirt, showing off her figure. Zhang Yaoding couldn't help but ask, Xia, where are you going later? Chapter 57. Is this the first time? Zhang Yaoding and Dao Ying sat on the sofa, still immersed in the shock brought by Zhang Bangsha. Because they found that Zhang Bangsha knew everything, but she just didn't say it. She had never resisted her fate. The only time she resisted was when she ran away from home, and finally let Zuning take her back to the apartment. Zhang Yaoding suddenly wiped his face and said, I was taught a lesson. Dao Ying smiled bitterly. After all, she can be admitted to Tsinghua University and Peking University. Who made us treat her as a child all the time? She is a child, she is also a growing child. As the head of the family, what do you want to do about this matter? It's not taught in the textbook. Li Yang really didn't expect that Zhang Bangsha would come out like this. Is there no one to take care of her at home? Dao Ying's hint was so obvious, so she really dared to let Zhang Bangsha come out? He originally thought that it would be Dao Ying who came down, and waved her hand and said, I'll give you 1 million, leave my daughter. The first pot of gold has to be delayed. He has a mentality of wanting to make quick money, especially with the increasing activity of funds in the A-share market. Half a month ago, the daily turnover was only more than 300 billion. In such a short time, the daily turnover has occasionally exceeded 500 billion. He is half financial, but because he has been exposed to a lot of deep data, his understanding of the funds on the market is a little different. He doesn't look at emotions, topics or concepts, he only looks at funds. He picked a lot of stocks but didn't have money. Li Yang, is my dress a little too small? Zhang Bangsha's voice came, pulling Li Yang's thoughts back to his body. It's not that the clothes are too small, it's that you are too big. Li Yang looked at it carefully and came to a conclusion. In the past, I only thought that Zhang Bangsha's figure must be good, but now it's not just good, it's almost catching up with Bai Qing. What did she eat to grow so big? 32C++. No idea. Anyway, he only knows the feel of D+, and he never felt that feeling again. Zhang Bangsha puffed out his chest and said, it's okay, I can't compare with Wang Manqi, but I have to be a confident girl. Li Yang, compare with her. There is no comparison. In addition to her top-notch figure, Wang Manqi's appearance can only be regarded as pretty. In terms of appearance, Li Yang thinks Zhang Bangsha, Bai Qing, Zhu Ning, Wang Manqi. In terms of figure, Wang Manqi, Bai Qing, Zhang Bangsha, Zhu Ning. In terms of temperament, Zhu Ning, Zhang Bangsha, Bai Qing, Wang Manqi. But none of them have much to do with him. He must change his way of life. There are 4 stages in a man's life. 1. Falling in love with a woman. 2. Falling in love with a woman. 3. Falling in love with a woman. 4. Falling in love with a woman. He plans to pass the first stage in his life and start directly from the second stage. The less responsible the better. Wang Manqi, he will definitely not waste it. As for Zhu Ning, he spent money. He didn't even think about anything else. He didn't want to waste energy fighting with Bai Qing, nor did he cherish the abilities of a girl like Zhang Bangsha. Are your parents not at home? Li Yang asked. Zhang Bangsha said, at home. Then how did you get out? The college entrance examination is over. I can come out whenever I want. They don't care. You said you would take me to play adult games. Where are we going now? Get a room, really? Zhang Bangsha was a little excited. Can I lie to you? 20 minutes later, Li Yang took Zhang Bangsha to a Mile KTV in the county town and found the smallest private room. A fruit plate, 6 bottles of beer, and 4 hours for 120 yuan. It's a bargain. After Zhang Bangsha came in, he was curious about everything in it. He looked here and there. Li Yang, how do I order a song? Just enter the song name, the first letter, but I don't remember the name of the song. How does it go? Zhang Bangsha thought for a while and said, what made me stop drawing a chicken? What made me stop loving huskies? Catch a turtle and throw it into the sea. I don't want to become a funny guy. Li Yang, he really hadn't heard it before. He thought he had read countless songs, so how could there be such outrageous lyrics? He asked curiously, where did you listen to it? The school radio. Li Yang, what made me stop doubting myself and stop being afraid of losing? Oh? Come on, I'll sing it for you. Jiang Bangsha was very active and didn't even need Li Yang to warm up. He thought he would be cold when he first came in. He ordered songs for Jiang Bangsha and adjusted the microphone. Jiang Bangsha opened the show in a grand manner. Thank you for your encouragement. This song will be dedicated to Mr. Li Yang. Li Yang, in fact, KTV has been gradually eliminated because this form of entertainment seems a bit slow to warm up compared to some of the current mainstream ones. But it doesn't matter to Li Yang. Jiang Bangsha has a nice voice, but her singing is very unfamiliar. Obviously she doesn't sing much on weekdays. And it just so happens that Li Yang is good at these. Someone said that he likes to sing and rap and was regarded as a joke by others, but he regarded it as a dating secret. Singing is not to mention. Knowing this will increase the chance of socializing by at least 30%. He is even better at dancing. Whenever he goes to a bar and shares a table with a girl, he will show her a rap song when they are having fun. He will be 50% the first time and 100% the second time. Rap is a deadly killer. It is extremely attractive to girls who like to go out and have fun. He is actually very grateful to Jedge. After almost leaving the house, he can still live a comfortable life, all thanks to this dating secret. So he never plays memes and often corrects Jedge in various comment areas. As a result, others think he is playing a role in a reverse role, and then he receives more and more emoticons. Jiang Bangsha may have realized that her singing is not good, but Li Yang immediately took her along. When being led, Jiang Bangsha obviously felt that her singing was better. She has always known that her singing is average, but today she actually feels that she is actually a good singer. I want more. Okay, this method of Li Yang is called the free singing method. Whenever the girl he plays with doesn't have the confidence to sing, he will give her confidence, and as she sings, she will sing for free. Whether it works or not, you can tell by looking at Master Jiang. She had only listened to a few songs, and basically relied on the campus radio. Today, she had to show off all her skills. Until the end, she was obviously not satisfied, but she really couldn't bring out any stock. Li Yang was still waiting for her, and she was anxious on the spot. Facing Li Yang's expectant eyes, she wanted to take off her t-shirt and said, Master Li, I really don't have any padding. Li Yang felt that the atmosphere was not enough, so he leaned over to Jiang Bangsha's ear and said, do you want to learn to dance? Jiang Bangsha nodded desperately. Come on, I'll teach you. No matter how talented Jiang Bangsha is, she is really serious about experiencing it. In just 3 hours, Li Yang turned a girl with no experience into a woman who can twist out several sexy dance moves. Even though there was air conditioning in the room, Jiang Bangsha sweated a lot. It was almost 9 o'clock in the evening, and when the time was up, Li Yang took her out of the KTV. When it was time to pay, Jiang Bangsha paid first. As soon as he paid, before Li Yang could react, he found Jiang Bangsha coming over with a red face and hugging his arm. The next second, Li Yang saw several figures. There was Wang Manqi, Liu Jin, and a few girls. He didn't stay for long and walked out with Jiang Bangsha. Jiang Bangsha whispered, my legs still hurt a little now. Is it always like this for the first time? It won't hurt anymore in the future, right? Chapter 58. I have someone to back me up now. Is that Jiang Bangsha? I almost didn't recognize her. I heard that her estimated score is 690, and she has already booked admission to Tsinghua and Peking University this year. She is so smart and beautiful. I don't know how she fell in love with that guy Li Yang. Even Manqi doesn't like Li Yang. She really lowered her status. Wang Manqi just felt that these words were very harsh. On the surface, she said that Jiang Bangsha lowered her status, but wasn't she saying that she was blind? Did she let Li Yang run away? Putting aside her studies, there was really nothing to complain about Li Yang in all aspects during high school. What's wrong with being with Jiang Bangsha? How many days can we talk? She turned and walked in. She was going to say goodbye to these little sisters today. She finished her score estimation. Although the score estimation for liberal arts was a little more difficult, she felt that she had a chance to pass the second-tier line. She was no longer from the same world as these fake sisters. After all, she felt that she had improved a lot during this period. If she could get into a second-tier university, she could meet someone better than Li Yang. Walking on the street, Li Yang found that Jiang Bangsha actually had a dark side. Fortunately, she didn't pretend to ask if that was Wang Manqi afterwards. This shows that this is Jiang Bangsha's exploration of her own life. She is still a long way from being a green tea. Even with her personality, she will never be able to develop into a green tea. People don't need to be a green tea. There is no benefit. It's just that the signpost for her to explore a new life seems to be herself. Li Yang, the dance you danced at the end was so handsome. Where did you learn it from? Jiang Bangsha never stopped praising Li Yang along the way. Li Yang said, it's very simple. Just go out and play more and you will naturally learn it. I've taken you to check in today, and you can come here to play by yourself in the future. What about you? You're not coming. I have to study hard. I'm different from you. You have definitely never lacked money from birth to now, but I have been living in a process of lack of money from birth to now. Your university can be said to be an experience and growth in life. But I still want to make money, Jiang Bangsha immediately said enthusiastically. We can make money together. How about setting up a stall together? I'll help you call customers. Li Yang, can you stop kidding? If your family finds out that you are setting up a stall with me and helping me to attract customers, they will definitely throw hundreds of thousands in my face. Jiang Bangsha thought for a while and said, that seems not bad at all. My dignity is not dignity, right? A mere few 100,000 can't humiliate me. It must be at least several million. That may be a little difficult. My family probably can't come up with that much money. Jiang Bangsha didn't know how much money the family had, but with Dao Ying's salary, it would be at least 300,000 or 400,000 yuan a year after tax. Her own father wasn't so good, with only more than 6,000 yuan a month. She couldn't figure out whether he was corrupt or had extra income. Tens or hundreds of millions might be able to be taken out, but millions were not realistic. Li Yang waved his hand. No, this is my own business. You can take advantage of the summer vacation to have fun everywhere. I've basically taken you to all the places I should take you to. Internet cafes are boring, and staying up late is not good for your health. You are free tomorrow during the day. I can take you to the internet cafe to play for a while. Jiang Bangsha was stunned for a moment. Are you asking me to go home? We clearly agreed to eat something and then go to the internet cafe all night. What else? But let's go eat something first. It's too tiring to go home late at night and ask your parents to make you food. Jiang Bangsha, I don't want to go home. Li Yang stopped and asked, why? Because I had a quarrel with my family when I came out. I confronted them and hoped that they would not interfere too much in my life in the future. Li Yang asked doubtfully, from what I have known during this period of time, your family treats you very well. Although she is your stepmother, aren't you willing to call her that? It means that you have accepted her in your heart. Yes, she put down her work to accompany me to review, and I was willing to accept her. But she knew that I had a good relationship with you, but she still stood up to speak for those teachers. She knew that I was going to have lunch with you at noon, but she still went to call me. My dad is the same. When Liu Dao called and said that I was in love, he really believed it. He took my cell phone and didn't let me go to school. Jiang Bangsha had never had the desire to confide before, but now she couldn't control herself. She continued, when my parents divorced, I was already 10 years old. The court asked me who I would choose, and I chose my father. My idea at the time was simple, stay with my father and try to behave. Maybe my father would pay attention to my ideas and call my mother back. After Dao Ying came, I even deliberately acted very close to my biological mother, trying to let my father see my attitude. The result was that he didn't care at all. I know my biological mother is not that good, but there are so many people in the world. Aren't my parents the only ones I can rely on? My mother is not around. I can only rely on my father, and I don't even dare to do anything against my father's wishes, for fear that he will not want me after being with Dao Ying. If I say what I want in my studies, my father will always get it for me as soon as possible. If I say what toys I want, the result is, I should study hard and shouldn't play around. Li Yang fell silent after hearing this. He can understand Jiang Bangsha. He has experienced the era of information explosion. Although it is very convenient to go online now, the overall information he receives is very different from the past few years. Jiang Bangsha is a very sensitive girl. If she encounters a family with a strong desire for control, she will indeed fall into autism. If this kind of emotion is not resolved in time, when entering the society in the future, one will either become a timid person or simply let go of oneself and do not care about anything. This kind of thing usually happens in families with good conditions. Because those with poor conditions are struggling to live and make money, how can they be controlled? Li Yang, do you know? In fact, I am a very spineless person. I have never had the courage to resist because I am afraid that no one will want me. The first time I resisted in my life was when I heard that Yi and Dao Ying were going to take the child back. At that time, I really thought that I was finished and I would completely become a child that no one wanted. It also prompted me to choose to run away from home for the first time, and finally I was taken in by Sister Ning. Jiang Bangsha lowered her head when she said this. Li Yang asked, then why did you confront them today? Is it because the college entrance examination is over and you want to be brave? Maybe this is the beginning. Jiang Bangsha raised her head. She didn't know when, her eyes were already full of tears. She shook her head gently. No, because I have a backer now. With a backer, I am not afraid of being homeless. Chapter 59. I'll let Bai Qing give me a flirtation later. At 10 o'clock in the evening, Zhang Yaoding and Dao Ying were still waiting in the living room. Finally, Zhang Yaoding couldn't wait any longer and said, I'll call Ning Ning, soon. The call was connected. Zhang Yaoding explained the situation and asked Zhu Ning to contact Li Yang or Jiang Bangsha to ask where Jiang Bangsha was now. Zhu Ning had no choice but to agree. About a few minutes later, she called back and said, Teacher, Li Yang and Xiao Xiao are having a midnight snack. Li Yang promised me that he would personally send Xiao Xiao downstairs later. After hearing this, Zhang Yaoding was relieved. He even liked Li Yang a lot more. Jiang Bangsha must be determined not to come back, otherwise she would not have replied to any messages. Even if she called, she would hang up immediately. It was really precious that Li Yang could take the initiative to send Jiang Bangsha back. In fact, Li Yang really had something to do. It had been a whole day since the college entrance examination ended, and he couldn't pin all his hopes on the bonus. After all, even if the scores came out, it would take about 20 days to get the notification letter. It was about 40 days from now. Shit. He didn't want to wait any longer. This was one of his few chances, and he didn't want to start a business in such a miserable way. In his previous life, he had worked in that private equity firm for more than a year, and he also understood what it was like to start a business. Even if he knew the business model, it was highly unlikely that he would succeed. Because just when you are about to succeed, you will definitely be targeted by big capital, and eventually you will inevitably enter a money-burning war. Not to mention that a poorly managed and poorly operated project, no matter how good the model is, may not necessarily have a chance to succeed. Who is not black-hearted when starting a business? What's the point of being a capitalist if you are not black-hearted? Take advantage of this bull market to make tens of millions, and if you are lucky, you can make hundreds of millions, and then wait for the next bull market with peace of mind. In the next wave, you can at least have a net worth of 300 to 500 million, and how comfortable it will be to live a comfortable life. He didn't really believe that he was the successor of socialism. His consciousness was too low, and he hadn't even been a member of the group for a few years, because he didn't pay the group fee of 1.2 yuan for half a year, and it was automatically gone. After dinner, he walked towards her house with Jiang Bangsha. In the middle of the night, Jiang Bangsha had a high rate of turning heads. Anyone who passed by, even if they were far away, would turn back from time to time to take a look. In the daytime, most people would just take a glance and leave, for fear of being called unless the night gave people a disguise. When they were almost at the door of their house, Jiang Bangsha refused to leave. Is it not okay not to go back? Her tone was a little aggrieved. She was not afraid to go back, but she was afraid that Li Yang would leave. Li Yang said unhappily, then let's go get a room. That's fine too. Li Yang rolled his eyes and said, Sister, we are both underage, you know? The hotel needs to register our ID cards. Do you believe that once we register, the entire county police station will think that something big has happened? Jiang Bangsha knew that it was inappropriate to do something embarrassing. But she was really worried. She looked at the entrance of the community and found that her father and stepmother were already standing there, waiting. She felt that if she wanted to run now, it would probably be too late. Taking a deep breath, she asked, Li Yang, are you willing to be my backer? If you are, I will listen to you and go home. If you are not willing, what? Then you should think about it for 2 more days, and you will definitely agree. Li Yang smiled and said, okay, I will think about it for 2 more days. When I think I have the ability to be your backer, I will definitely protect you, then it's settled. Okay, go back quickly. After that, Li Yang turned and left. Jiang Bangsha hurriedly shouted, "Wait a minute." Li Yang was forced to turn his half-twisted head back again. Jiang Bangsha said seriously, "If you don't be my backer, then I will definitely be very cowardly in the future, and anyone can bully me. It will be different if you are my backer. I am not afraid of anyone, but you can still bully me a little." Li Yang, damn, you want to hit someone. Why didn't Wu Shianqi come? No, I have to let Bai Qing flirt with me later. Damn, being with Jiang Bangsha will easily affect my Taoism. After watching Jiang Bangsha walk to her parents, Li Yang turned around and went to a nearby internet cafe and stayed up all night. What ID card? He was the boss of Hanquang Road, and he had never used an ID card to go online. At the same time, Wu Shianqi, who was staying up all night in the internet cafe, heard the beeping sound from his QQ and was a little afraid to click it. Every message from Bai Qing was like a gold medal given to Yu Fei by the emperor of the Song dynasty. He had already rejected 12 messages. If you waited for Bai Qing to send the 13th message, no one knew how he would die tomorrow. So, he opened the flashing avatar with trembling hands. "How have you done what I told you to do? Where's Li Yang? Where's your uncle? You don't want to meet Xiaomi anymore, do you? I tell you, this is the end of my patience. The college entrance examination is over. If you dare to say that Li Yang is studying again, I will go over and break your legs myself. Now, immediately, find Li Yang for me. Otherwise, I will put a man in Xiaomi's bed." Wu Shianqi felt that Bai Qing was like the Yuanying ancestor of the sect, who happened to fall in love with Li Yang, an outer disciple of Qi training, and the two might have had an affair. Now that the ancestor is angry, Li Yang will be fine, but he, a fellow disciple, will suffer. Even if he is a direct descendant, the elder of his own family can only be regarded as a great perfection in foundation building, which is not comparable to the Yuanying ancestor. He was worrying about how to respond to these messages. Then, he saw a handsome guy walking to the second floor. Damn. It's time to sacrifice. And, I'm on the second floor of Xinhua Internet Cafe. Li Yang is here. He'll probably stay all night, he typed very quickly, fearing that Bai Qing would send out the 13th token, which would cost him half his life. Bai Qing didn't seem to have thought of such a big surprise. She waited for a minute or two before replying, "Where's Xinhua Internet Cafe?" "It's on Aviation Road, very close to number 1 middle school. And, I knew that Li Yang would come here to surf the internet. I know him too well. It's not that I don't want to help. I've actually been trying hard. Now, I finally got him. And, your nephew is feeling miserable," Bai Qing immediately said. Okay, I know you've worked hard. I'll give you a new phone in 2 days, Wu Shianqi." Woo. The Yuanying patriarch is generous when he's in action. The things he gives away are all things that outer disciples can't even dream of. Thank you, and don't worry, I promise to keep a close eye on Li Yang. If he wants to leave the internet cafe tonight, he'll have to step over my body. That's good. Seeing this reply, Wu Shianqi felt relieved. I have to say I'm really lucky today. The next second, Bai Qing sent a message. By the way, what did you call him just now? Huh? That's very disrespectful to your uncle. Your phone is gone. Chapter 60. Where is my fire? Wu Shianqi wanted to eat someone. How come it's gone? And, I'm innocent. I'm going to buy water for my uncle now, then you behave well. When the Fruit 6 phone is released in September, I'll arrange a new one for you, thank you, and, Wu Shianqi felt relieved all of a sudden. School starts in September. When he takes his new phone to school to show off, there might be girls who'll chat him up. He quietly left his seat, went to the bar downstairs to buy 2 bottles of water, and came to Li Yang. Before he was ready to speak, he saw Li Yang open a Word document and wrote 2 big words on the first line. Stock trading introduction. The stock market is like the sea, and the big capitalists can only adapt to the times, but I have to go against the tide and trade the stock market. Wu Shianqi was confused. What is Li Yang doing? Is he writing a novel? Why is the name so exciting? Can it pass the review? Unknowingly, half an hour passed, and Li Yang typed quickly and finished the first chapter. At present, online writers are still a very niche industry, but in a few years, they will become much more popular. If you can be the leader in the industry, you can also earn tens of millions or even hundreds of millions a year. However, Li Yang obviously does not have that talent. He wrote for more than a year when he was out of work during the epidemic in his previous life, and his talent can only be considered average. Although in this era, it is not difficult for him to write some routines and ideas that he has mastered to achieve results, it is equivalent to a fool's dream to want to make a lot of money. At present, there are no more than 50 people with a monthly income of more than 100,000 yuan on the entire network, and most of them are accumulated over a long period of time. He has no chance to start from scratch. But there is an exception. That is stock speculation articles. After the bull market started, stock speculation articles on the entire network have ushered in an explosion. There's even a book called Super Retail Investors that received 2 or 3 million rewards within a month. It's just that the author later recommended stocks in the book club group, but he didn't escape the stock market crash and was reported by someone. But the author's model is completely worth learning from. Unlike the large group model, he may not be able to do it well after learning from it. This small model can be completely replicated. He can also recommend stocks. Anyway, this bull market is a supermarket, and there will be no deviation because of his butterfly. This is a real leveraged bull. If it is a small market, he will distribute at will, and it may deviate soon. This time it won't happen, and it will only fan the flames. Of course, recommending stocks is illegal, and he must put on a layer of communication shell. Besides, even if you are nitpicking and have to make trouble for him, he is not using his ID card. His father, who is almost 40 years old, is a stock trading expert. Isn't it too much? Otherwise, how can we say that there are experts among the people? He is also an artistic youth who can write some novels. Isn't it too much? Just criticize and educate him. What else can you do to him? People violated the rules of reducing holdings and falsifying financial reports, but they were only fined 600,000. Anyway, Li Yang felt that what he wrote was okay. It was definitely not amazing, but at least it was a good story. Find an editor to submit it tomorrow. Just as he was about to continue writing, a bottle of water was suddenly handed to him, and then he heard Wu Xiangqi's standard vulgarity. Li Yang asked, "What are you laughing at?" Wu Xiangqi quickly put away his expression and said, "It's okay, it's okay. I just saw you and brought you a bottle of water." He didn't dare to expose Li Yang's writing of pornographic literature. After all, when he finished writing, he would definitely read it to himself. Although he just read it for a while and didn't understand it, he knew it was not a good book after seeing the title. And he also saw something about the chief leader. It must be a martial arts character descending on the city. Who are the female protagonists? Wang Rong? Xia Longyu? Li Ma Chao? Chu Qianqi? That would be too exciting. I didn't expect that Li Yang, a sunny and handsome guy, would actually write pornographic books. In the future, let him arrange Zhao Zuner and Medusa to be included. Oh, Nan Guangwan can't be let go either. Li Yang said, then why don't you leave quickly? No mysterious code, well? Li Daoyao has it, here you go, go and see for yourself. Wait, I'll log in with UC and have a look. After a moment, Wu Xiangqi exclaimed directly, fuck, good stuff. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Damn, the previous ones are all patterned, and you actually have high-definition ones here. Get out of here quickly, I have something to do here. After Li Yang finished speaking, Wu Xiangqi immediately said with a smile, it's okay, you are busy, call me when you are hungry, I will go to the bar to buy instant noodles. Li Yang finally saw benefits for his brother. With a website, he will not be lonely tonight. In addition, knowing that he wrote a pornographic book can be used as a handle for him. If he dares to let himself call uncle again in the future, he will tell Zhang Bangsha about his broken things. At that time, the aunt will definitely thank him for helping her defeat a love rival. Not long after, Li Yang, who was typing, smelled a fragrant breeze. He was very recognizable for scents, and he knew who was behind him without turning around. It must be that bastard Wu Xiangqi who leaked his whereabouts, otherwise Bai Qing would not come. He saw the QQ avatar flashing, so he took the opportunity to minimize the Word document. He opened the chat window and found that it was sent by Zhang Bangsha. Zhang Bangsha didn't say anything big, just the situation after returning home, and that her legs were a little sore, but it was very exciting. Bai Qing, who was standing behind, saw it clearly. Li Yang almost never replied to her messages. He would send a lot every day, and Li Yang would reply once every 10 days or half a month. Just now, her avatar was clearly flashing, but Li Yang didn't click it. Why is this Li Yang so gentle to others? She really wants to get in touch with Li Yang more. This guy is completely in line with her aesthetic point, and his hobbies are also very consistent. Seeing Li Yang and Zhang Bangsha chatting, Bai Qing suddenly laughed. She was too familiar with it. It was the smile of love. She picked up her phone and sent several messages to Li Yang in succession. As the beeping sound rang, Li Yang ignored it, as if he didn't notice. In other words, during her free time chatting with Zhang Bangsha, she would put a mouse on the flashing avatar to take a look. When she found that it was a message from her, she would immediately stop reading it. Whenever Bai Qing had a hot temper, she would leave on the spot. Li Yang really didn't have the energy to play with Bai Qing's feelings. She didn't let him sleep with her. It's useless to call her husband with clothes on. It's sincerity to call her husband when you take off your clothes. The fragrance is still there, which means that the woman has not left. This woman should go and hang someone else. It's not convenient for him to turn against her now. He is still waiting for her to give him a bonus. After waiting for a while, she is still there. Li Yang didn't want to wait any longer and decided to use the ultimate trick. He clicked on Bai Qing's QQ avatar, and a series of messages, like her 32D, jumped out directly. He just looked at it and didn't reply. On the contrary, he almost replied to Zhang Bangsha's message immediately. This behavior should be considered a burst killing, right? After waiting for a while, he found that Bai Qing hadn't left yet. He didn't know where this woman got the patience from. He couldn't turn back either, in case the woman wanted to hide him in anger. A crazy woman could do anything, so he didn't need to take risks. And he was sure it was Bai Qing. Everything else could deceive people, but the scent on her body would not. Even the same perfume and skincare products would look different on different people. He was so bored waiting that he took out a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, which were given to him by those guys in the dormitory. He took out a cigarette, put it in his mouth, and touched his pocket. He suddenly found that he didn't have a lighter. Damn it. I clearly remember having one. Which bastard took my lighter away? Does Zhang Bangsha also have the habit of taking lighters? This shouldn't be the case. At this moment, with a click, a flame appeared in front of him. He raised his head slightly and saw Bai Qing holding a lighter in one hand and holding the gaming chair with the other hand. She looked at Li Yang with a smile. Chapter 61 You Can't Be Hard. Li Yang took the cigarette out of his mouth and was about to speak, but Bai Qing lifted his arm again and brought the cigarette to his lips. The flame slowly approached, and he took a puff, and the cigarette was lit. Because of the classes in the first and second years of high school, not many people booked the internet cafe overnight, and there was an empty seat next to Li Yang. Bai Qing pulled a chair and sat next to Li Yang, looking at him sideways. Both sides were silent for about 30 seconds. Although Bai Qing was smiling all the time, it was different from before. Finally, Li Yang broke the silence. I'm not used to it suddenly not being flirty. Bai Qing was still smiling, but she was less enthusiastic than before. For Bai Qing, Li Yang's ignoring was more terrible than rejection. It was like a thing. You can think it's too expensive and can't afford it, but you can't just look at it. She was almost putting her chest close to his face, and he dared to say that the perfume she sprayed today was useless? The guys in the nearby machines didn't know how many times they looked back, and they didn't even know that the game character was beaten to death standing there. Can you talk to Zhang Bangsha to this extent? Can you talk away your sense of smell? Play a few games with me, play seriously, and I won't bother you after that. Hearing this, Li Yang asked, does the promise you made before still count? Bai Qing, she knew that the reason why Li Yang didn't just block him or turn hostile was because of the bonus. But the bonus belonged to Zhang Bangsha, not him, so why did he care so much about it? She suppressed her emotions and said, are you underestimating the face of the richest man in Jiangsheng? Not to mention a mere 200,000 yuan, even if you are admitted to Tsinghua or Peking University, the 1 million yuan I promised you will not be reduced by a single cent, Li Yang said with a relaxed look on his face. Come on, log in, Bai Qing shouted directly, Wu Xianqi, but there was no response for a long time. Li Yang pointed to the machine not far away, and Bai Qing walked over immediately after seeing it. What is this damn guy looking at? She patted Wu Xianqi's shoulder directly. When Wu Xianqi turned around, his face turned pale with fear, as if he had been playing with crafts all night. He lowered his head and didn't dare to look at Bai Qing. After getting the website from Li Yang, he completely forgot that Bai Qing was coming over, and now he was caught red-handed. Fortunately, Bai Qing didn't want to bother with him about this trivial matter now, because she was in a bad mood. Go downstairs and turn on a machine for me, right next to Li Yang. Hey, okay. Wu Shianqi kept his head down the whole time. When he saw Bai Qing, he became socially anxious. About 2 minutes later, Wu Shianqi came to the second floor with a printed note. He found where Bai Qing was sitting, went over to enter the boot account password, and then ran away without saying a word. He was really socially dead today. He was so embarrassed that he wanted to pick his feet. He had to play in a small window later, wear only half of the headphones, and prepare other web pages in advance to cover up. If there was any movement, he would switch immediately. Even a fly could be the clone of the Yuanying patriarch. After getting an account, Bai Qing directly asked Li Yang to log in. It was still the same 2 accounts as before. During this period, she asked Yang Shanshan to play with her, but Yang Shanshan's skills were too poor and she could never break through the platinum level. After both of them logged in, Bai Qing said, "You must help me win 10 games, if you lose 1 game, my previous words will not count." Li Yang said, "Okay, no problem, but I want to play jungle." Yeah, anyway, Bai Qing was ready to play badly and wanted an AD position. This was equivalent to the bottom lane duo being gone, and Li Yang had to play 3 against 8 the whole time. Entering the selection stage. As Li Yang selected his own hero, a voice came from the headset. "The way of Wuji, in the platinum game, the bully must play this." Bai Qing was really trying her best to play badly. It was okay in the first 5 minutes, just acting secretly, but as Li Yang got into the rhythm, she didn't even pretend. She started to give away heads directly. "Don't give up, AD, we have a big shot on this game, and the jungler is super awesome." No, Bai Qing is well versed in giving up kills, and after giving up a few, it's no longer worth it, so grab a kill and keep giving up. But no matter how fast she gives up, it's not as fast as Li Yang's knife. In 18 minutes, with 35 kills, Li Yang chopped up the opponent's crystal. Bai Qing didn't say anything and quietly started the second game. Because she was on the first floor, and only on the third, fourth, and fifth floors could ban people, she quickly typed, "Ban Juggernaut, there's a streamer on the opposite side, who was abused badly in the last game, Li Yang, it doesn't matter, there are only 3 banned positions anyway." There is no doubt that Li Yang's strength from the master level in his previous life, returning to this era, is still crushing. Not to mention that he is younger and has a faster reaction speed now. The second game even ended in 15 minutes. At the beginning of the third game, Bai Qing was on the 5th floor and took the lead in banning Lee Sin, and then typed, "Ban Juggernaut, there's a streamer on the opposite side, who was abused badly in the last game." This state continued until the 4th game, and Bai Qing really didn't know how to limit Li Yang. This guy is so amazing. Even if his 4 teammates are all pigs, he can still catch the 5 opponents and make them worse than pigs. Each game ended very quickly, and the latest one was no more than 20 minutes. After 9 consecutive wins, both accounts jumped to the 3rd round of the Diamond Promotion Tournament. One more win would allow them to enter the Diamond rank. Bai Qing did not target Li Yang anymore, and only focused on playing badly. Because it was useless to target him, he knew too much. This game was the last one. After entering, she found that all the opponents were Diamond 1 and Diamond 2, and they were among the strongest in the entire region. This had never happened before. Bai Qing thought the opportunity had come. In this situation, Li Yang could not fight 3 against 8. Li Yang locked the hero, a little cold light came first, and then the gun came out like a dragon. However, only 10 minutes later, the situation finally approached the previous game, and the opponent was caught and had no fighting spirit. Bai Qing had already left the keyboard with both hands. She glanced at Li Yang next to her. He was still playing seriously, and every expression was so serious. This guy just wanted to win. He just didn't want to be bothered by him anymore. His strength could really be enough to play professionally. But the last time they played together, he was slaughtered by others in the bronze game. Damn it. At this time, she decisively typed on the public screen, "Give the opponent a head, 100 yuan per head, send it to Alipay now, transfer it in seconds." Fuck, is it true? Stop talking nonsense, send it quickly. Send it directly after sending it, it will be too late if you don't send it now. Because when she typed that sentence, Li Yang directly accelerated the progress. After killing someone, he demolished the tower without saying a word. In just 30 seconds, under the temptation of money, a teammate received 100 yuan. Then, more and more teammates couldn't stand this temptation and joined the army of sending heads. Li Yang became 1 against 9. You can't win, give up. Once the 20 minutes are up, the 4 of us will immediately click surrender. There's still 1.5 minutes left. This is also what Li Yang is most worried about. Damn, the veto power is useless at this time. Thinking of this, he hurried back to the city and sold all his equipment at the fountain. Bai Qing looked at him with a smile. However, soon, Li Yang bought a new set of mage equipment and rushed out of the fountain. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62 I will definitely come back to find you. Bai Qing's smile froze. She saw Li Yang, a warrior hero, with mage equipment, directly kill all 5 opponents, and he didn't lose any blood. Then, he didn't care about the soldier line, and directly stabbed the defense tower. The defense tower hid him, but he didn't lose blood either. The most important thing is that he doesn't need the soldier line, and the speed of destroying the tower is still very fast. The time is getting closer and closer to 20 minutes. Bai Qing is anxiously typing on the public screen. When the 20 minutes are up, surrender immediately, as fast as possible. If you lose, each of you will transfer another 1,000 to you. Someone immediately replied, rich woman, don't worry, my hand speed is definitely not covered after being single for decades. If it exceeds 1 second, I won't pay a penny. Rich woman, do you still need a doorman? I can't do anything, I can only bark. Bai Qing didn't care about those things, and kept the mouse in the lower right corner of the screen throughout the whole process. The enemy hasn't resurrected yet, and Li Yang has already carried it to destroy the front tooth tower. There are only 6 seconds left before 20 minutes. But Li Yang actually destroyed one more front tooth tower every 2 seconds. When the 20 minutes were up, there was only one big crystal left in front of him. Quickly surrender. 4 votes appeared at once, and the surrender was successful. However, surrender was not settled in real time, and there was a 2-second delay. I saw that my crystal was about to explode, and the game screen suddenly switched to the enemy's crystal. Victory. Is the opponent a pig? Why can't it even last a second? Can you lose with 9 against 1? 10 games, at most, only took 3 hours, an average of 18 minutes per game, including the queue and selection stage. Bai Qing's mentality exploded, and he yelled, you are so good, why don't you play professionally? What's the point of bullying me? Li Yang said, playing professionally is not profitable, that thing really doesn't make money, and he is okay in rank, but playing in competitions. Even if he can learn a profession and become a good professional player, how much money can he make? There are a lot of contract traps, and he may be forced to sign a contract to sell himself. There are a lot of game teams offering empty salaries, which are no different from anchor contracts. For example, a big anchor signed a 3-year contract for 100 million yuan, but in fact, he only received 20 million yuan in 3 years, and the other 80 million yuan was converted into popularity, gifts, promotion, operation, etc. Bai Qing didn't want him to really play professionally, but she was unwilling to lose like this. It doesn't count, it's obvious that we lost the last game. It's a system problem, it is indeed a system problem, because after surrendering, the crystal explodes slowly, there will be a delay of about 1 second, and the crystal that is directly pushed will explode in an instant. Li Yang said, then how about another game? Bai Qing, what's the point of another game? Li Yang was mentally prepared, and he was afraid that he would start the fast push mode as soon as he came up. Why did you lie to me before? Bai Qing found a reason. We were not familiar with each other at that time, and it would not be good for me to win. I need to focus on studying, not a few insignificant games. Am I insignificant? Li Yang frowned and said, if you are willing, then I will play another game with you. If not, the 10 consecutive wins will also be included in the game record, and this matter will be over. Am I so annoying? Are you fucking done? Which one are you going to choose? If you don't choose, I will assume that it is over by default. What kind of Kaion Yao is this? What else can you do besides talking nonsense? It would be fine if you really talked nonsense to him, but the problem is that there is no such thing. So you want to play with others, but others don't want to play with you, or is it their fault? Wu Xianqi, who is not far away, was shocked and looked back in disbelief. What kind of physique is Li Yang? How dare he confront the Yuanying patriarch? Bai Qing looked at Li Yang with a serious expression and realized that this matter was completely irreversible. She shouldn't have restrained herself on the first day. If she had known that Li Yang was so in line with her preferences, she would have waited for Li Yang to wake up that day. Then you can take me downstairs, no problem. Li Yang saved what he had written before, and then locked the screen of the machine. Bai Qing stood up and waited for Li Yang. After Li Yang stood up, she smiled and took Li Yang's arm, and then they went downstairs together. After leaving the internet cafe, she saw Bai Qing's Ferrari parked at the door. Even though it was the first time Li Yang saw this car, could it be anyone else except Bai Qing? Standing on the side of the road, Bai Qing suddenly said, "Can you sing the song you wrote before for me?" Li Yang pointed to the car and said, "Then you get in the car first, and then I will sing." Okay, she got in the car, sat in, and lowered the window. Li Yang said beside her, "I wrote the lyrics based on a piece of foreign music. I can give it to you, but you need to deal with the copyright of the song yourself." Yeah, Bai Qing had composed the music for that song several times, but she felt that it was a bit wrong. Just as she was thinking about this, the song sounded in her ears. Even if it was a cappella, even in an empty environment. On this journey, we stopped and started, following the boy's drifting traces. The moment I stepped out of the station, I was a little hesitant. I couldn't help laughing. Li Yang's voice was very clean, and the clean voice directly brought Bai Qing into the scene described in the lyrics. Even though she could hear many flaws with her professional ears, it was undeniable that this song made her feel sad. Very sad. Only when Li Yang sang it did she realize how touching the meaning of the song was. The boy with his hands in his pockets, looking up at the stars, was right next to her. She only had two hobbies: music was her job, and games were her life. She was a otaku most of the time when she was abroad, because the international students around her were having parties all day long, and she couldn't play with anyone. In addition to classes, she basically played games to kill time when she returned to her residence. Because of the environment she was in, and her own restless personality, she learned the set of coquettish and slutty very well, and she practiced with many people in the game. Whether in China or abroad, she has met quite a few boys, who are very good in terms of personal talent, appearance and wealth, and even many of them are far better than her. But it is difficult for her to resonate with those people. At first, she didn't like Li Yang, but just thought that this guy was more interesting, handsome, and an 18-year-old fresh meat. Even before she came down from the internet cafe, she just felt a little bit of pity. It's a pity to miss a handsome boy who resonates with her. But now, her regret has turned into heartache. When her father passed away, she was only sad for a few days abroad, because she had been mentally prepared for that matter, and her father had said that there would be such a day, and he didn't even want her to return to China. She suddenly started the car and rushed forward, not wanting Li Yang to see her tears. Li Yang took a breath of exhaust gas and hurried to the door of the internet cafe. Damn. But the smell of exhaust gas is not that bad, it actually feels a little fragrant. It seems that when I was a child, I liked to chase big trucks and smell the exhaust gas. It's so authentic. Finally, Bai Qing was settled. He didn't want to talk to such a woman with a lot of tricks. It was a pure waste of time. Isn't Zuning attractive? What's the point of going around in circles? Not far away, Wang Manqi followed a few girls and saw Li Yang standing at the door of the internet cafe, holding a cigarette in his mouth and touching his pocket. Wang Manqi walked over and asked, "Can't find a lighter? Add me back on QQ and I'll give it to you." As she spoke, she took out a lighter. Li Yang took the cigarette in his hand, smiled at Wang Manqi, and said, "You want to delete each other? What does it have to do with me? Then just hold it in. Don't think that it's a big deal to play with Zhang Bangsha. She doesn't need you to support her studies. If you don't make an appointment, you can't even enter the gate of Tsinghua University or Peking University." So, Wang Manqi said, "Zhang Bangsha won't stay with you all night, and won't always have a lighter ready for you." Li Yang is so familiar with this taste. But I remember that she triggered this passive after the college entrance examination scores came out. Now it is triggered in advance? Just as he was about to respond, suddenly, a car stopped in front of him. The next second, Bai Qing ran out of the car, threw herself into Li Yang's arms, and hugged him tightly. Wang Manqi's expression froze. A Ferrari girl. And her appearance and figure were better than hers. The next second, a scene that made her dumbfounded appeared. The girl took the initiative to kiss Li Yang, as if she was crying while kissing. It was a minute later when the two separated. The girl took the cigarette from Li Yang's hand, put it in Li Yang's mouth, and then took out a lighter. With a click, the flame ignited. Li Yang took a puff. "This is my first kiss." Bai Qing giggled, let go of Li Yang, then stepped back a few steps and opened the car door. After sitting in, she stuck her head out and said to Li Yang with a smile, "Husband, I will definitely come back to find you." Chapter 63, What's so great about being handsome? Although Wang Manqi herself has no money, she knows all the major luxury brands very well. She is not just limited to brands, but also knows the styles and prices. There is no cheap Ferrari. The entry-level model costs more than 2 million yuan. Generally, you have to pay more than 1 million yuan to get it. Otherwise, you can only wait slowly. People will not give it to you even if they have a car. Those who are not worth tens of millions will not be willing to buy such expensive things. And how many families in the whole county have this strength? Li Yang smiled at Wang Manqi and pointed to the cigarette in his hand. Just in time, someone lit it for me. After saying that, he turned and went into the internet cafe. The only pity is that he didn't take Bai Qing's lighter. After he returned to his seat, he continued to write novels. Writing novels is not a particularly promising industry, and it is also very talent-intensive. He is not very talented in this area. But this industry is the only one he can control. As he was writing, there was a cough on QQ. He opened it and saw that it was Wang Manqi's friend request. Application information, Li Yang, let's make peace. Li Yang didn't accept it and replied directly, we have never been together. He hoped that Wang Manqi would evolve quickly and evolve to the ultimate form, so that she could always be his alarm bell. A dog who licks the dog will not die well. Wang Manqi quickly replied, if you don't add me as a friend, how can we be together? Li Yang, I am not good enough now. When I am good enough, I will consider feelings. Later, Wang Manqi asked again, what about Zhang Bangsha? And the girl driving the Ferrari? Li Yang did not reply later. He now wants to finish the beginning of the novel as soon as possible. He is not a novice. Before his rebirth, it was an era of flourishing. It was normal for a person to have several jobs and multiple freelance experiences. After writing it, he simply registered an account with his father's identity information, and then found an editor's email address and sent the manuscript directly. Who knows how long it will take to publish the book directly? Finding an editor to submit it internally is the fastest way. You can get the contract on the day the book is published, and then print and mail it. The contract can be successfully signed in 3 or 4 days at most. Wu Xianqi came over at some point and sat next to Li Yang. After waiting for a while, he asked, Friend Li, did you break up with my aunt? Li Yang looked back and said, yeah, it broke up. He didn't know whether it broke up or not, but at least Bai Qing now understood his attitude and would not continue to do those meaningless things. As long as it was meaningful, nothing else mattered. But why did he find that Wu Xianqi's eyes were shining? Wu Xianqi comforted him, it's my aunt who is not worthy of you. Zhang Bangsha is so good. She will be able to go to Tsinghua or Peking University soon. When the time comes, you can tell people that you have a girlfriend from Tsinghua or Peking University. How face-saving, right, Li Yang, this bastard just doesn't want to call him uncle. This guy is actually quite good. It can be seen from the beginning that he tried to match me with Wang Manqi, that he also wanted to pick up a beautiful woman. Later, he said that he was a scumbag, but in fact, he was also cooperating in various ways. It was nothing more than that when he came to Bai Qing. There was a certain conflict between them, and he didn't want to call him uncle. On the one hand, he was threatened by Bai Qing, and on the other hand, he didn't want to accept the fact that he became his uncle. In this guy's eyes, as long as he's not as good at basketball as him, then he's on his side. He asks himself every day whether he has practiced dual cultivation with this person or that person. In essence, he is asking himself whether he has suffered any loss. He feels that he has invested so much time and energy in Wang Manqi, it would be a big loss if he does not practice dual cultivation with her. This is also his obsession in his previous life, but he has never told him. As for this bastard's rumor that he is a scumbag, there is no evidence for the time being, so he will not frame him. Wu Xianqi was afraid that Li Yang would not believe it, and continued, compared with Wang Manqi, Zhang Bangsha is definitely the saint of the immortal gate. That kind of extraordinary talent and noble temperament, how can a mere little witch compare? How old is my aunt? She is in her 20s. It is not an exaggeration to say that she is an old witch. Li Yang, what a good nephew of Bai Qing. He patted Wu Shianqi on the shoulder and said, "Don't worry, you don't have to call me uncle recently." Wu Shianqi smiled and said, "I knew you wouldn't make it difficult for me. Although I will go to first-class immortal sect to train in the future, I promise not to look down on you, and I will introduce you to the female cultivators of the immortal sect. If I have a bite to eat, you will have to wash the dishes. Don't worry, I will definitely leave some for you to eat while washing the dishes, and I will never eat it all." Li Yang, if this guy could find a girlfriend in college, would he get married 3 times and divorced 3 times? After going to first-class immortal sect, this guy is just cannon fodder. Of course, most people are cannon fodder. There is no difference in essence, it's just that they have given their lives a more recognizable label. Others don't know what kind of person you are, don't know whether you are smart or not, and don't know how knowledgeable you are. The first thing they see is always the label and appearance. Li Yang himself didn't have the confidence to survive in universities like Tsinghua and Peking University, and felt that he might be kicked out halfway. But at least he couldn't leave too embarrassed. "Are you going home or back to the dormitory?" It was almost dawn, and Li Yang had to find a place to catch up on his sleep. "Of course I'm going home, but I've already moved all the stuff in your dormitory." Wu Shianqi had the lunch Zhang Bangsha had invited him to at noon, and when he returned to school, he went to Li Yang's dormitory to move some stuff. "Give me the key, I'll go to your place to sleep, and then look for a house in the afternoon." Wu Shianqi took out a key without saying a word, and said with a smile, "Do you want me to tell the little witch?" Li Yang said unhappily, "I think you want to find something to hold against me. I'm not that kind of person." How could a famous and upright person do that? "Fellow Taoist Li, you've wronged me." Wu Shianqi's explanation was not convincing in Li Yang's eyes. This guy definitely wanted to use his own black material to try to convince Bai Qing. Although it seems that he and Bai Qing have broken up, this guy is still worried. He must want to build a few more walls between the two of them, preferably sealed with cement and welded with steel bars. After Li Yang got the key, he said, "I'm warning you. If you dare to do something to me behind my back, I will immediately become your aunt's son-in-law. You can handle it yourself then." Wu Shianqi smiled awkwardly. "Brother Li, this is a very cruel move. I have always had a question. Which sect sent Brother Li to be an undercover agent in our famous and upright sect?" In Wu Shianqi's opinion, Li Yang is a very evil guy. Wang Manqi just added him as a friend to inquire about him. Zhang Bangsha has been with him every day recently. His aunt actually likes such a poor student. Isn't it just that he is handsome? What's so great about being handsome? Chapter 64. Even in bed, these few people are not enough. Li Yang does not belong to any sect, whether he is righteous or evil. As long as he is strong, it does not matter where he is from. Although there are definitely no good people in the evil way, not all righteous people are good people. No matter where in the world, although humans dominate the food chain, they still cannot get rid of the law of the jungle. Otherwise, even if you are lucky enough to pick up a beautiful treasure, it may be left over by the rich. Get off the plane. On the way back to school, he sent a message to Zhang Bangsha. "I studied until last night, and I may have to sleep until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Remember to read books at home. I will check in a few days." At this time, Zhang Bangsha must not have woken up. After Li Yang sent the message, he went to the cafeteria to have breakfast, and then went to the dormitory to lie down. Lying down and sleeping is a skill he can easily master now. Things are almost done. I stayed up all night to write a manuscript of more than 10,000 words. I just need to wait for the results with peace of mind. Stock speculation novels were hit hard by this storm. It is conceivable how popular this time. Even if it is written randomly, as long as the book is published, someone will give a reward of 1,000 yuan and ask if they can join the group. Many people have made tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands in this trend. As long as he becomes famous and becomes the top, he can get the most. And he will not cheat people. Although his behavior violates the rules, there is no moral pressure, which is enough. How many people in the world can get rich quickly without much time and without violating the rules? Besides, it is not him who violates the rules, it is his father's ID card. He does not express his opinion on Zhang Bangsha's family affairs. What Zhang Bangsha says is what he thinks, and he will be indignant with her. Even though he knows that Zhang Bangsha may have problems, who made him stand on Zhang Bangsha's side? This kind of thing is not about right or wrong, but about position. He has no relationship with Zhang Bangsha's parents. After Bai Qing woke up, she went to her studio. Yang Shanshan was very curious. On weekdays, Bai Qing would call her to play games when she woke up. Why did she go to the studio today? When she came over, she saw Bai Qing writing and drawing on a tablet. She couldn't understand a single character of music-related stuff. Bai Qing was still mumbling something in her mouth while writing, and then she began to write down the notes one by one. About half an hour later, she might have finished the song, so she started to look for it in the music library. In just 2 minutes, she seemed to have found it, and brought the song to the piano. After a simple adjustment, the music sounded. Well, Yang Shanshan didn't understand. She took a look and saw that the breakfast that the nanny had brought today was still there. She waited until Bai Qing finished playing a song before walking over and saying, "Miss Bai, you haven't even had breakfast. If you starve to death, where will I get my salary in the future?" While talking, she also brought a breakfast over. Although it was cold, it was impossible to expect her to heat it up, because Yang Shanshan couldn't cook herself. Bai Qing was indeed hungry, and the food was cold, so she ate a few bites and put it down when she felt it was almost done. She was too lazy to ask the nanny to reheat it, as it would only waste her time. Li Yang didn't tell her which song it was last night, so she composed a part of it based on her memory, and then compared it in the music library. After finding the song, everything was simple. Bai Qing looked at Yang Shanshan and said, "Shanshan, I'm in love." Yang Shanshan looked like she had seen a ghost. "Did you fall in love every other day? Who are you with this time? With Li Yang? Aren't you dating him every day? You keep calling him husband, and you're just short of sending him nude photos." Bai Qing, PFFT. It's different before. Now I'm really attracted to him. He only attracted me a little bit before, but now, Yang Shanshan asked in confusion, "Have you been slept with by him?" Bai Qing rolled her eyes. "I can't communicate with someone like you who has never been in a relationship." Yang Shanshan sneered, "I don't know who hasn't been in a relationship. Who are you flirting with all day long? People who have been in a serious relationship, do they need to communicate by flirting? Then what do you rely on? Secretly flirting?" Bai Qing, what the hell is this? Yang Shanshan came to sit next to her, took out her mobile phone, and opened the circle of friends. Then, Bai Qing found that Yang Shanshan in the circle of friends was actually a delicate girl. Every day she was either checking in or on the way to check in. She doesn't take photos unless it's in a fine restaurant. When she's shopping in a mall, she only takes photos next to the brand counters. If she really doesn't have any photos, she'll just post her own selfies. Plus some flirty copywriting that she didn't know where she got it from. What's the point of all this? Yang Shanshan said, "First of all, take fine photos so that people without money won't flirt with you easily. How many rich people are there in the world? Do you have any in your circle of friends? No, so I'll take some photos from time to time to show off my body, so that those poor people can have a little benefit. When they have money, they dare to take the initiative to chat with me." Bai Qing asked, "Then what? Have you caught any in all these years?" Yang Shanshan said helplessly, "How can there be so many rich people? The circle around me doesn't allow me to have any. Just look at the boss before, he's over 50 years old, still bald, greasy as hell, and a stingy guy who never spent a penny on me. Your tricks don't work on Li Yang. The photos she sends to Li Yang every day are much more explicit than this. Another thing is that Li Yang doesn't look at his space on weekdays. As for the circle of friends, Li Yang has WeChat, but he never uses it." She specifically asked Wu Xianqi about it. According to Wu Xianqi, WeChat is so old-fashioned, who would use it? Yang Shanshan said, "If this trick doesn't work on him, it means that your previous flirting is even more useless." Bai Qing thought for a while, "Then we can only use money." Yang Shanshan was shocked. "What do you mean?" Bai Qing said firmly, "I have decided to pay him to play games with me, pay him to write lyrics for me, and pay him to make music with me." Yang Shanshan exclaimed, "Are you crazy? King, you haven't been in China in the past few years. There are so many bootlickers in China now. With your conditions, no matter how outstanding a boy is, he will come to lick you. Do you need to pay him? Of course, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of money. If you just want to play around and dump him after a while, I support you." But Bai Qing said, "No, I have decided on him, and no one else can work. Shanshan, how about 200,000 a month for me to ask him to play games with me?" Yang Shanshan was immediately anxious. "What? 200,000? I work hard for you, but I only make 50,000 a month. Tell me who Li Yang is. There is no one in Jiangchang that I can't deal with. I'll tie him up now and let you ravage him." Bai Qing glanced at Yang Shanshan's figure and said, "Just you? How many people are you going to call? 3 or 5 people are not enough. 3 or 5 of you, even in bed is not enough. Thanks to light tea fragrance, I'm not that white demon king, born without chains, Princess Buyer, evil fun Hang Shen, extreme cloud 6,666,666, Ryan 1990, bulk famining, for the rewards. Thanks to the parents who voted for the monthly votes. I have been keeping up with everyone recently. Thank you for your hard work." Chapter 65 3 Bottles. Li Yang slept until his stomach protested, then he woke up. He had been up all night, but he could recover with a simple sleep. This abnormal ability is known to all young people, especially those who tried their best to set the direction, but still had bifurcated urine. He didn't dare to take a shower when he came back in the morning, for fear of washing away his sleepiness. He took a cold shower as soon as possible, washed up, rubbed his clothes a few times, and hung them on the clothes rack. It was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was no food in the cafeteria, so he could only go to the supermarket to buy 2 boiled eggs and a grilled sausage to fill his stomach. Then he found a place to sit down, took out his mobile phone and took a look. Wang Mankey's friend request? Ignore. Bai Qing didn't flirt today? Strange. Zhang Bangshi's reply? I'll see later. There was nothing important. Zhang Bangsha just asked tentatively, and when he was sure that he didn't respond, he stayed at home and didn't go out, and invited Li Yang to have dinner together in the evening to discuss the shortcomings in learning. What a little genius. But soon, Li Yang found Zuning's missed call. This must be replied. After he called Zuning, the call was connected instantly, and then he heard Zuning yelling, "Where have you been? Why can't the call be connected?" Soon the tone turned gentle, and asked, "Have you eaten? I'll take you to eat. Also, if you haven't found a house, come and live with me first, I'll squeeze in with other teachers." Li Yang replied, "Male teacher or female teacher?" Zuning smiled and said, of course she wanted to say male teacher, just to make a joke with Li Yang. But he felt that Li Yang had asked very seriously, so he finally couldn't bear it and said, "Of course it's the female teacher. What's wrong? Do you want to join in the fun? How about this, I'll leave my things at your place. I may have to work all night for half a month. It's fine if I can take a shower at your place. Don't worry about my sleep." Zuning asked immediately after hearing this, "What are you doing all night? Working? Anyway, you don't have to worry about where I sleep. I can make do anywhere. In fact, renting a house is also fine." After the college entrance examination, many senior high school students have moved out. It costs at most 800 yuan to rent a single room near the school for 3 months. But the conditions are very ordinary. There is no independent bathroom. At most, you can have a bed to sleep. It's better to leave the things at Zuning's place. At least it's convenient to take a shower there. After 14 days, he changed the label on his body, and everything became convenient. Now the label on his body is tattered, and he has no money. There is still about 1,000 yuan in his pocket, which is only enough for food and internet fees for the next 40 days. "Then you should bring your things to me first." Zuning had to see Li Yang before she felt relieved. "Oh, okay." About half an hour later, Li Yang came to Zuning's apartment with his things. After putting down her things, Zuning said, "My parents called me and asked me to take good care of you during this period." She did talk to Wang Qiping on the phone, but Wang Qiping didn't dare to trouble her so much. She just asked her to keep an eye on Li Yang and not let Li Yang mess around. And she had been asking about things related to repeating the year yesterday. But the result was not very good. The news of Li Yang's confrontation with the teacher in the office has now been spread. It has become so big that she, an ordinary teacher, does not have enough face. But she also has a teacher, but the college entrance examination results have not come out yet, and the specific repeat class arrangements have not been made. Anyway, even if she has to trouble Zhang Yaoting, she will find a way to arrange Li Yang into the best repeat class. Even if Liu Dao fights for face for the school again this time, it will not have much impact on her. Li Yang said unhappily, "Teacher Zhu, aren't you substituting in too quickly?" "They are my parents." Zuning remained calm. "What's yours and mine? It belongs to everyone. By the way, are you out of money? I'll give you some." Li Yang took out his mobile phone and showed Zuning's account. With a 100,000 yuan financing limit, the total holdings are now 360,000. Zuning was shocked. Dao Ying hadn't told her about this account recently. She only knew that she had made some money, but she didn't expect to make so much. How much of this 360,000 was earned? All 160,000 was earned. It's more reliable than looking for investments everywhere, right? Zuning laughed. Reliable? Reliable? You are amazing. Have you had lunch? I'll go out to buy some food and we'll have a drink. Li Yang sat on the sofa. Zuning immediately poured a glass of water and handed it to him, with anticipation on her face. However, Li Yang quickly said, "You can take all the money at any time, but after you take it, it will have nothing to do with me in the future. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, I will definitely ignore you. No, 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 I want 5,000 yuan a month. When you finish repeating, I will quit my job. 5,000 yuan is enough for me to travel around. If that's the case, don't drink with me in the future." Li Yang wanted to make it clear that Zuning actually has a very good alcohol tolerance. She hardly uses any skincare products and rarely buys new clothes. Basically, her biggest expense is on alcohol. She doesn't like to drink a little at every meal. She prefers to take half a day every week or so to get herself completely drunk. Of course, if there is a drinking party occasionally on weekdays, she will definitely not refuse it. It is definitely better to have something to drink than nothing to drink. As long as she doesn't get drunk, nothing will happen unless she wants to. But as long as she gets drunk, it takes about 3 kilograms of white wine to make her drunk. Of course, this is Zuning in her 30s. When she was in her 20s, Li Yang didn't go deep into it, so he didn't know. "Can't you drink even a little?" Zuning asked tentatively. Li Yang's reply was straightforward, "No. If you get drunk once when I'm not around, even if you're at home, I will directly withdraw all the money to your bank card and leave." Zuning was silent for a while, and soon smiled and pinched Li Yang's face. "Don't be so serious, smile for me. Actually, I don't drink much, I was poor before. Oh, I promise you, okay?" She didn't know why Li Yang was so serious, and she couldn't get drunk. Usually she just hated that she had too little money and couldn't afford much wine. When others treated her, she was embarrassed to expose her alcoholic attribute. In fact, she had never really drunk in these years. Li Yang's expression relaxed. Zuning was actually a little abnormal in her mind, and she didn't pay attention to many things. Normal people should doubt whether he could give 5,000 yuan a month, and at the same time ask him how he made the money. But Zuning didn't even ask a word. Even if she only made 5,000 yuan, she wouldn't doubt the follow-up. That's why she suffered a big loss in her previous life. Fortunately, God favored her and gave her a chance in the end. She is essentially brainless. Zuning saw Li Yang and laughed, and immediately said, "You are here today, right? Can I drink now?" "You wait here, I will buy something and come back soon," Li Yang hurriedly said. "I'm going out later." The next second, he was held down by Zuning. "No. Anyway, you are here today. If you leave, I will still drink." "I didn't disobey you, it was you who insisted on leaving," Li Yang asked helplessly. "Then how much are you going to drink?" Zuning stretched out 3 fingers. 3 bottles. Chapter 66, Your Excellency's power is too great. Zuning couldn't afford expensive wine. A bottle of wine that cost more than 20 yuan was already a luxury for her. She quickly went to the school gate to buy food and wine. Li Yang was about to drink some, but was stopped by Zuning. "Why do you drink wine as a student? Just eat the food. I bought you a 1,000-layer cake. You can eat whatever you want." She didn't need food to go with her wine, especially when Li Yang was there. She took Li Yang as a drink. In front of Li Yang, she didn't hide it. She poured herself a glass first, and then drank it happily. Her face showed an expression of enjoyment, as if she had drunk nectar. She squinted her eyes, like a kitten. Soon, the bottle of wine was empty, and Zuning's cheeks were covered with red. From time to time, she looked at Li Yang with watery eyes. Li Yang was eating by himself over there until Zuning finished the last glass of the first bottle of wine and leaned towards Li Yang. At this time, there was a knock on the door. Zuning asked in confusion, who would come at this time? Li Yang stood up and said, "Oh, it should be Jiang Bangsha. I'll go open the door for her." Zuning, Li Yang has already walked to the door. After all, the apartment itself is small, and the scene can be changed in 2 or 3 steps. Li Yang opened the door and saw Jiang Bangsha standing at the door with a smile. Today, she matched a plain long skirt to cover her long legs. "Is Sister Ning here?" "Yes." Li Yang opened the door and let Jiang Bangsha in. As a result, he just turned around and looked inside, and found that Zuning had fallen on the sofa. and the other 2 bottles of wine she had placed on the desk before were nowhere to be found. There was a lot of alcohol in the apartment. After Jiang Bangsha came in, she whispered, "Sister Ning drank again." Li Yang, yes, she said she suddenly wanted to drink, and she felt that her alcohol tolerance was not good. She was afraid that I couldn't handle it, so she asked you to help. But she was fine just now. Why did she fall asleep suddenly? The conversation between the 2 was all transmitted to Zhu Ning's ears. But she could only pretend to sleep. Maybe she was a little bit impulsive. After all, she had been ready to take the first step since the last time in the bar. Her current life was boring and almost predictable. She was very happy to have godparents, but she was a very lazy person at heart. She was too lazy to learn anything new and just wanted to live the easiest life. A few days ago, Dao Ying talked to her about the account. She didn't quite understand, but she knew that she had made money, and a lot of it. She felt much more at ease. Li Yang's promise made her feel more and more at ease. She had no resistance to entering her comfort zone. The comfort zone she encountered last time was far less solid than the one given by Li Yang. She wanted to settle down here. As a result, Li Yang, the little clever guy, saw through it. How could you be so smart? When she heard Jiang Bangsha say that he would help her to rest on the bed, she slightly raised her feet when she helped her up so that Jiang Bangsha would not be unable to help her. Jiang Bangsha closed the bedroom door, came to the sofa, and asked cautiously, "Is there any more wine? I haven't drunk it yet, let me try it too." Li Yang hurriedly said seriously, "Minors are prohibited from drinking. It is illegal for me to give you wine, you know? If you want to harm someone, let that person get you wine." Jiang Bangsha immediately corrected his attitude and said, "Yes, Master Li is right. I am a good citizen who abides by the law." "That's right, come on, I just brought a textbook here, let me check your learning situation today." "Huh? How to check?" "The best way, of course, is for you to explain it to me again. If you can explain it thoroughly, it is enough to prove that you have learned it. But I will add some difficulty to you, and I will randomly say that I don't understand. This is an assessment of your mastery of knowledge points to see how much you specifically understand." "But why do I feel like you are preparing for repeating the year, Bah? What are you talking about, repeating the year? It's impossible in this life. I'm afraid that you will not be able to keep up with the courses there when you go to Peking University and Tsinghua University." Right for Jiang Bangsha, whether Li Yang chooses to repeat the year or do something else, she can accept it. As long as he doesn't drop out of school. She believes that Li Yang's score will not be too low. I dare not say 600, but at least 580. Maybe this guy is not satisfied? Want to study hard and take the entrance exams for Peking University and Tsinghua University next year? How happy. The sound insulation effect is not very good. Zhu Ning listened to the 2 people discussing various topics. She was not sleepy at first, but she became more and more sleepy. It was like returning to high school, which was a sleepy era. At around 6 o'clock, Li Yang and Jiang Bangsha went out. They walked around the snack street in the county and bought some snacks. Jiang Bangsha had a lot of seasoning powder on the corners of his mouth. Li Yang felt it was a bit wasteful. He didn't know which good person would get the money in the future. "Master Li, have you decided to be my backer? I went back last night and haven't said a word to my family until noon today. I don't have the guts to do that." Jiang Bangsha's voice came from the side, and Li Yang said, "In fact, I am still very weak myself. How can I be someone else's backer?" "Well, in fact, as long as I have a quarrel with my family, you can take me in. If I live on the streets, tired and hungry, I won't have the courage to quarrel with my family, but I don't have a house. Did you see that all my things are with Teacher Zhu?" Jiang Bangsha thought about it, and now is really not the time to confront his family. Thinking about studying in China in the future and asking for living expenses from his family, he really can't be tough. There will be a younger brother in the family in a while. I originally thought about not talking to him properly, but now it seems that I have to be more enthusiastic. After all, the family finances are in Dao Ying's hands. Li Yang saw that Jiang Bangsha seemed a little disappointed, so he continued, "You can wait for me to make some money. I will buy a house when I have enough money. But if you have a quarrel with your family during the time I make money, we will both be homeless." "Ah, isn't it just me? I have discussed with Teacher Zhu that I will go to her place to catch up on sleep during the day. If you have a quarrel with your parents, they will definitely not let me off easily, so, Jiang Bangsha's sudden rebelliousness requires her to spend more time with her family. No matter how much others say, it will not be of much use. In terms of family relationships, there are too many people who really do bad things, not to mention misunderstandings. At this age in his previous life, he was more rebellious than Jiang Bangsha, and his parents had completely ignored him, which allowed him to do whatever he wanted. The only thing he can do now is not to add fuel to the fire and not lead Jiang Bangsha in a wrong direction. When Jiang Bangsha heard this, his face became even more disappointed. With a sigh, she said, "The adults are so powerful that we can't seem to defeat them. Thank you for following me. It will be on the shelves at noon on the 12th. It's the last few days, so I'd like to ask you to take some time to read it. I haven't been ranked first in the new book yet. There are only a few days left until the 12th, and I don't have many days left to live. The girl who ranks first in the new book is so beautiful. I want." Chapter 67. What do you do for a living? Li Yang also sighed. Yes, adults have lived 20 to 30 years longer than us. How can young people like us compete with them? Is there no other way? Jiang Bangsha said to herself. Soon, she thought of something. By the way, if I get into Tsinghua or Peking University, will I get a lot of bonuses? Li Yang, she just reacted. Getting into Tsinghua or Peking University can bring direct economic benefits of up to 1 million in some places. Even in this small county, the benefits will be very large. If he had Jiang Bangsha's ability, he would open a crammed school as soon as the scores came out, called the senior high school sprint class. It's cheap to charge 5,000 tuition for more than 2 months, right? I'll come back every summer vacation to run one. It's normal to make hundreds of thousands a year, until the country restricts education and training. You can also have a banquet, with a lot of relatives and friends. Who would dare to take 1 or 200? Don't you have to take more than 600? If you don't have 2,000 yuan because of your relationship, how can you take it out? This is a big deal. Maybe the family tree will have to be opened separately in the future. The banquet will be held for 3 days and 3 nights, and we can make 200,000 or 300,000 yuan. It's just that the score hasn't come out yet, otherwise Li Yang would have told his parents about these arrangements. Jiang Bangsha thought about this and got excited. She said, "Then I can buy a house by myself? Do you want to be included in the share when the time comes?" Li Yang said, "With more than 200,000 yuan, you can only buy an old house in the county. A new house will cost more than 400,000 yuan. According to the bonus, you must take out a loan for part of it. Do you want to go to college and pay off the loan at the same time?" Jiang Bangsha didn't know how much living expenses he could get. After all, the family was about to have a younger brother. What if Dao Ying didn't give him a penny? It shouldn't be realistic. She would definitely give him some, but it would definitely not be enough to pay off the mortgage. You stay at home during this time. I'll go out to earn money. When I earn enough money, we'll each take half and buy a house at that time. Don't worry if you're not married. You already have shared property rights. Jiang Bangsha should have been happy to hear this, but she felt a little guilty for some reason. Because she had not told anyone so far that she only scored 145 points in math. Maybe she couldn't get into Tsinghua or Peking University. Sometimes she felt guilty about her vanity. How are you going to make money? Do you want me to join you? Maybe we can earn a house by working without bonuses. Li Yang asked, "Can you play games? Can you learn this? Can you call someone brother with a voice changer? Can you go online at any time, day or night? Can you call your husband a hug or a kiss?" Jiang Bangsha, "So what do you want to do? Play games with others? I'm good at games. A studio asked me to play with them. If I play well, I can make 10,000 or 20,000 yuan a month." Li Yang was just talking nonsense. He didn't have time to be a game partner. The right thing to do was to run the novel. He had to write some review content every day, and he had to pretend to be an expert, and write some short words, which was quite a headache. He said he was going to play games with Jiang Bangsha, just to dissuade her from writing, and at the same time to find a good reason for himself to let her stay at home more. The dissuading effect of those words was still very obvious, and Jiang Bangsha immediately stopped talking about working together. "What about your studies?" Although it was difficult for her to imagine Li Yang's work content, she respected Li Yang's work spirit. Li Yang replied, "Help me organize it. It's better to organize it in detail. Give me the notebook and I'll read it when I'm done." Jiang Bangsha understood that this task was also very heavy. "Then don't worry, I will definitely integrate high school knowledge points in the most easy-to-understand way. The two sides communicated very happily. At around 8 o'clock, Li Yang sent Zhang Bangsha to the gate of her community, and then he went straight to the internet cafe. He had received a reply to his submission in the morning and could sign the contract. Then he started uploading chapters. I have to say that this title is quite interesting. Basically, many readers were attracted to it as soon as it was released. Li Yang immediately revised the chapter and wrote down the data of today's review of A shares. At the same time, he was optimistic about a stock and briefly talked about the market of that stock in the next 2 days. After finishing these, he started to build a group. First, he registered a small account, spent 10 yuan to open a QQ membership, and built 6 groups in a row. Then he went online to buy an ordinary Sun level account and added it to the group. He sent out the group number of an ordinary group, and named the remaining 5 as the leader group. There are only 100 positions in the ordinary group, and each leader group has 500 positions. When it was time to book an overnight, he went to the bar to open it. He planned to stay up for half a month to get the manuscript almost done, and then send it slowly later. No matter how healthy you are, you can't ignore the risks of staying up late. For example, hair loss. There is indeed no hair loss gene in his family, but there will always be gene mutations. Just as he was about to sit down to write, he saw Bai Qing sent a message. Husband, play games with me, 100 yuan a game. Okay. Li Yang took a look and was too lazy to reply. Playing a fart. You dare to throw thousands of dollars for a game just to target me, so I am only worth $100 for a game. Although $100 is a lot, he doesn't care about those few $100. A few minutes later, Bai Qing sent another message. Hubby, I just typed it wrong, $1,000 a game, come on, this number has made Li Yang unable to help but type those 2 words. Log in. Except for the Top Kings game, $50 a game is already a normal price for ordinary diamond games, and it is only $100 if you guarantee a win. The price of $1,000 is enough for him to put down the manuscript in his hand temporarily and be a playmate. Hubby, I really don't have much pocket money. I bought some equipment and now I have only 200,000 yuan left. I want to play games with my husband more. I know that my husband's skills must be worth more than this. How about you wait until I get the dividends from the company next month and then give it to you? Li Yang, if he hadn't paid attention to Green Water Group and could see the word loss written on the price-earnings ratio of Green Water Group, he would have really believed it. Green Water Group doesn't have any dividends, and Bai Qing's shares are restricted, and she doesn't get paid in Green Water Group. 200,000, I'll take you to the top of Zone 1. Li Yang wasn't talking nonsense, he really had the ability to do it. The current level of players is generally not high. Even though LoL has reached S4, there are still a lot of idiot operations in the finals, and the positioning of professional players is quite limited. He didn't ask for a random price, no one in the market dared to take such an order. The King's 500 points would cost 80,000 yuan, and the top 10 would cost at least 200,000 yuan. Bai Qing immediately replied, Top? Now the first king in Zone 1 has more than 900 points, don't believe it, believe it, believe it. My husband is the best. The next second, Li Yang sent his father's card number and said, pay 100,000 first, and after you reach 500% of the king, pay the remaining 100,000. Chapter 68. They are obviously a serious couple. In any game, don't mess around, choose the support honestly. If you mess up once, it will be over immediately and the money will not be refunded. Yeah, I'm very good. The 2 accounts have already reached the diamond rank. If they win all the games, they can't play many games. In order to let Bai Qing reach the top, Li Yang logged into her account. Bai Qing paid for a playmate, and there was no reason for him not to accept. Everyone just takes what they need. 1,000 yuan for a single game is indeed expensive, but now the promise of reaching the top is very cost-effective, and Li Yang even suffers a little loss. If he has a circle in this area, 300,000 is it, and 500,000 is it. Soon, he received a text message of the arrival of the money. Come on, husband, can you turn on the voice? Sure. After the voice was turned on, Li Yang felt something was wrong. Bai Qing only said that she would not mess around in the game, but she never said that she would not mess around outside the game. She would deliberately use some ecstasy voice. The most important thing is that she can say anything. Whenever those words appeared in the microphone, they had to be muted and turned into a long series of beeps. After playing a game, Bai Qing held it in for 2 minutes, then suddenly hummed, and then said, "It feels so good, my husband is awesome." Li Yang had reason to suspect that she was using some props, and the atmosphere was just right. Anyway, without Bai Qing making trouble, it was much easier to play in the diamond rank, and most of the time it took less than 20 minutes. They played until 2 o'clock in the morning, and Bai Qing went to bed, and agreed to continue at 11 o'clock in the evening. After the end, Li Yang continued to write the manuscript, and was busy until the overnight package was over. He went out for breakfast, and worked out the contract with the editor, printed it out and sent it over. With 100,000 yuan in the card, he definitely couldn't waste it. When he returned to Zhu Ning's apartment at around 10 o'clock, he was about to ask about her account, but he saw a pile of bags on the desk in the living room. He walked over and saw that there were summer clothes in them, 2 sets. The most important thing was that the clothes were men's. He called Zhu Ning, and after the call was connected, he said, "Teacher Zhu, where are you?" Zhu Ning said, "I'm opening that account for you. By the way, take a look at the clothes on the table to see if they fit you. If not, I'll change them later, thank you, Teacher Zhu." Li Yang took a look and saw that he had bought new underwear. He has been really frugal recently. If he had taken Wang Manqi out to play and treated her to dinner every day like in his previous life, his pockets would have been empty. So he always looked bright on the surface, but in fact, his underwear had several holes in it and the quality had seriously declined. If he met a fierce woman, his underwear would definitely become easy to tear. He took it out and gestured. It was a large size and fit him well. Damn. Could Zhu Ning have gone through his luggage? At this time, Zhu Ning was sitting with Dao Ying drinking tea. Dao Ying saw Zhu Ning calling back, so she smiled and asked, "Ning Ning, judging from your expression just now, when are you going to get married?" Zhu Ning said embarrassedly, "Master's wife, things haven't been decided yet." Dao Ying's face was full of disbelief. "You've bought him clothes, which means your relationship is pretty good, right? And he seems to be living at your place? Or you're living at his place?" Zhu Ning, she had just walked quite far away, but Dao Ying heard it. She hurriedly explained, "It was just a normal exchange of favors. He treated me to a meal, and I gave him 2 pieces of clothes." Dao Ying didn't say anything else after hearing this, although she didn't believe it at all. But Zhu Ning finally fell in love after all these years, which was definitely something to be happy about, and it was normal for her to be a little shy now. Dao Ying said, "Anyway, if you have any problems, remember to tell me. Your teacher is also a careless person. He can't even handle Xiao's situation these days, so don't expect him to give you any advice." Zhu Ning didn't know about the conflict between Jiang Bangsha and her family, so she asked, "Teacher's wife, what's wrong with Xiao? I saw her yesterday, and she seemed to be in a good mood." Dao Ying was helpless. She was in a good mood when she was with Li Yang, but she was silent when she returned home. "I wanted to call her to have tea today, but she insisted on reviewing her lessons. Alice, I am now afraid that Xiao will be admitted to Tsinghua University and Peking University and will not want to go, and wants to repeat the year with Li Yang." "Ah. That shouldn't be the case, right? It's just an idea. When facing children, it's inevitable to think more." Zhu Ning asked, "Then why don't you talk to Xiao? Xiao is not ignorant, she won't joke about her own life, right?" In Zhu Ning's view, no matter what the relationship between Jiang Bangsha and Li Yang is, joking about academic studies is a very impulsive behavior. Who can guarantee that he will have such an opportunity in the second year? Any relationship requires one to be strong in order to better protect it. As for her, she is different, she can't struggle. Dao Ying frowned and said, "This is also the most distressing point for us. There is a natural barrier between Xiao and me, and communication is not very smooth. And your teacher is a person who can't communicate at all." It was the first time that Zhu Ning knew that Zhang Yaoding couldn't communicate. He used to be a teacher. How is this possible? Then how did the teacher's wife fall in love with a teacher? This is the question she has always had. Dao Ying is very good. Obviously, she would have more development opportunities if she stayed in the big city, but she came to this small county town for Zhang Yaoding. Although the small county town is her hometown, it should not be so difficult to say goodbye. Zhang Yaoding is also very good, but compared with Dao Ying, he is obviously much worse. When Dao Ying heard this, she laughed and said, "Isn't it normal for me to like him? We had a naive feeling for each other in high school. Although he didn't wait for me to get married after college, I didn't wait for him either. Now we are both remarried. When we are together, We find the same feeling we had in high school. It's normal to like each other. The teacher's wife was married before. Zuning really didn't know. She always thought that Dao Ying waited for her teacher for many years until the teacher got divorced. Dao Ying did not shy away from the matter at all. I was married, but we had no children. Although there was an element of impulse at the beginning, we were still very happy in the first few years of marriage. It's just like the current situation. No matter his personality or other aspects, after the passion faded, we had more and more conflicts, and the outcome was doomed. Is the teacher very romantic? Dao Ying shook her head. If you talk about the romanticism of sending flowers and saying sweet words, he is not at all. But we have a lot of common topics. Sometimes a math problem can make us talk until midnight. We have been together in a plain way since the beginning, and now 6 years have passed, and it feels like nothing has changed. Zuning, 6 years? Haven't you and the teacher only been married for 4 years? We got a marriage certificate 6 years ago, but I was pregnant and didn't dare to tell Xia. We kept it a secret for 2 years after we got married, just like having an affair. It wasn't until the child was born and handed over to my parents that I dared to tell Xia about the marriage. Anyway, Xia didn't see the marriage certificate and didn't know the date of getting the certificate. Dao Ying has been a little free in the past 2 years. In the past few years, her child was young. After sending Jiang Bangsha to school every morning, she ran home to take care of her own child. Now the child is in kindergarten and will soon go to elementary school. Zhang Yaoding can't help it. They are obviously a decent couple, but it seems that everyone has an illegitimate child outside. Thank you for the leader sent by the boss of Red Elite. I am so moved. I originally planned to update 10 chapters and 30,000 words at 12 noon on the 12th. Now I will temporarily add 2 chapters for the boss. If I fail to update 12 chapters on the 12th, you can kill me directly. At the same time, I would like to thank the 6 bosses of Denghong Zhazhin, Time Rice Number, Light Feathers, Purple Blue Pig, 430, and Judge Big Buyer, for their rewards, and thank all the brothers and sisters who voted. It's the same old saying. I like subscriptions very much. Just be gentle with the rewards. This thing is an impulse purchase. You can refund it from my side. Just bring a screenshot of the reward to me at any time within half a year. The group number will be announced in a few days, but I can only refund the one I have. I hope you understand. Anyway, if you like this book, I hope you can give me a first order on the 12th. Don't worry if you haven't recharged. You can get a chapter card after signing in, and you can also watch some short videos to get chapter fragments. You can just redeem them on the 11th. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69, Can You Make Money by Trading Stocks? Zuning could feel Dao Ying's love for Jiang Bangsha. Dao Ying really regarded Jiang Bangsha as her own daughter. Dao Ying talked to her about the reason for doing this. It was nothing more than Zhang Yaoding had tried and found that Jiang Bangsha was very resistant. They didn't want to delay Jiang Bangsha's studies. In addition, her child was young at the time, and she didn't understand even if she accompanied him for a few hours every day. But now it's not possible. The child is getting older and has begun to remember things. If it's the same as before, it will be worse for the child. This is why Zhang Yaoding couldn't help it. The original plan was to tell Jiang Bangsha after the college entrance examination, but because of some unexpected things, Zhang Yaoding couldn't help but tell her in advance. It was a very embarrassing situation in itself, and Dao Ying didn't know what to do to make everyone happy. But Zuning was also confused about this matter. She could only comfort Dao Ying and say that Jiang Bangsha would be sensible. At the end of the conversation, Zuning asked, "Master's wife, can I open an account at a securities company with only a copy of my ID card?" Dao Ying was stunned when she heard this and asked, "Why do you ask this suddenly? A friend of mine wants to ask this, but it's not convenient for him to come here in person right now." Zuning's words made Dao Ying confused. What's convenient or inconvenient about opening an account? Even if you are not in your local area, securities companies in other places can be found everywhere. Inconvenient to show up? Is there something wrong with the person? For example, is he a wanted criminal? No, that's not right. The identity information has been taken. There is another possibility, that is, he is disabled? A vegetative state? Inconvenient to come out? She asked, what's the situation with your friend? If it's not convenient for him to go out, I will arrange for staff to come to his house to handle it for him. No, I'm just asking if it's okay. If not, forget it. Zuning came here just for this matter. If Li Yang could go to handle it, he would have gone long ago. It's useless for the staff to come to his house because he is not old enough. Dao Ying thought for a while and said, give me a copy of his ID card, and I will help him get it done in the afternoon. She definitely has the authority to go directly to handle it, but she just feels that something is wrong with this matter. Zuning quickly took out a copy, handed it over, and said, then I'll ask you to send me the account number when the time comes. Okay. Dao Ying sent Zuning away and picked up the copy of the ID card to look at it. Li Liqin? 39 years old? After Dao Ying went to the company to open an account, she sent the account number to Zuning. She also checked the mobile phone number that Zuning gave, and it belonged to a person named Li Liqin. In other words, either this information is fake, and someone got a complete set of Li Liqin's information, including a bank card, and was ready to enter the securities market. Or it was Li Liqin himself. She knew that Zuning's boyfriend was a stock trading expert. During this period, he had earned more than 100,000 yuan in the account with a financing quota. When she got home, she prepared the meal, and Zhang Yaoding also came back. She asked, what happened at noon today? Zhang Yaoding said helplessly. The whole office was saying that Xia scored 690 points, and they were spreading it in a serious manner. I didn't dare to respond to them, so I asked for a few days off. Of course, they believed Zhang Bangsha's estimate, but after all, the scores had not been released yet, and any accidents could happen. If something unexpected happened at that time, it would really be a social disaster for the rest of my life. Zhang Bangsha was terrified listening to it. It was Dao Ying who stood up and said, what's the big deal? Even if there is a few points of error, no one will say anything wrong. Besides, the score was estimated by the school teacher, and it has nothing to do with us, Zhang Bangsha. It has something to do with me because I said that the math score was full marks, but it was not. After the family finished their meal, Zhang Bangsha went to her bedroom to continue organizing the review materials. Li Yang, this guy, must have pretended on purpose. Even if he scored 600 points, the probability was not much higher. If you want me to send a love letter, you have to go to the same school as me, right? Otherwise, others will not let you in. After writing for more than an hour, she got up and went to the living room to get some water. Then, the sound of two people chatting came from the master bedroom. What? 39 years old? Why would Ningning find such a person? And I guess, there is a high probability that he is disabled. Of course, it is not ruled out that he has a personality that does not want to see people. What did Ningning say? What else can I say? I think Ningning is very satisfied. What does that guy do? I don't know, but he is very good at stock trading. He helped Ningning to trade stocks before, and he has earned more than 100,000 in less than half a month. Ningning doesn't look like a person who is greedy for money, right? Generally, people who can make money must have other charms. Maybe these are what attracted Ningning. Zhang Bangsha was shocked at first that Zuning actually found a 39-year-old boyfriend. On the other hand, she suddenly thought of a way to make money. She could trade stocks. She also has a certain understanding of finance. After all, there are many related books in the study room, and she even wants to study finance in college. Make money. If she really gets admitted to Peking University or Tsinghua University, she can use the bonus to trade stocks and maybe she can afford a house. It was still very hard for Li Yang to be a playmate. When Zhang Bangsha thought about him having to use a voice changer to call someone else's husband, she got goosebumps all over the floor. Thinking of this, she returned to the room, took out her tablet, and began to check the stock market. She had heard from Dao Ying that in this market, if you can understand the funds, it is difficult to lose money. This market is very complicated, with various ways to play, but in the final analysis, the core is still funds. It's just that most people don't understand the funds at all, and even 80% of stockholders can't even understand the K-line. After watching for half an hour, Zhang Bangsha downloaded a simulation disk. Practice while learning. The bonus has arrived, and I just turned 18 years old. I originally arranged 6 hours a day for myself to organize the review materials, and now I want to learn stock trading, so I have to add 3 hours. But as long as I can make money, it's fine. With money, I can buy a house, and with a house, I have confidence. So, having money equals having confidence. She didn't plan to find Zuning to ask for advice from the brother-in-law, who is very good at stock trading. Because Zuning is not on her side. At present, she is alone and weak, with only herself and Li Yang, but both of them are weak. The next day, after she got up, she looked up relevant books. On the third day, she did the same, but she found a place called Taoguba, which is called Tao County. There are a lot of so-called dry goods in it. Although the recognition rate is not high for her, it provides her with a lot of thinking and direction. She takes out another hour every day for in-depth learning, which makes her study time more than 10 hours a day, which is more tiring than going to school. But thinking that Li Yang is still there pretending to be a woman and being wronged, this doesn't seem to be a big deal. Until the sixth day, a user named Zhang Yu posted a post in Taoguba. He showed his super income for 5 consecutive days, a full 60 points. At the same time, he also posted his delivery order. Seeing those delivery records, she felt that they were very consistent with her thinking. So, she decisively chatted with the other party privately. Chapter 70, Don't Risk Your Capital. The novel has finally been signed. Li Yang has been waiting for 6 days. Now, because of its unique name, this book has attracted hundreds of collections. And the ordinary group of 100 people is already full. There's a lively chat all day long, all kinds of market conditions, all kinds of position charts. This is the first batch of customers, so Li Yang did not hide anything. After putting the 100,000 earned from playing games into the account, he would throw the delivery screenshots in the group every morning. The significant feature of the bull market is that the market has relays, but it does not always rise wildly. Basically, every stock can be traded in waves, and how much you earn depends on your trading frequency. Now, because he wants to make money by playing games, and continue to expand his target group by writing novels, his trading frequency is not high, and he doesn't even make as much as his group friends. The reason is that his principal is too small. Zuning's account has principal, but he is waiting for another market. In the short term, he only knows about one big market, and he must wait until his big funds are in place. Anyway, Bai Qing's other 100,000 should be in place tonight. He has more than 200,000 principal, and he plans to expand the trading frequency later. There is also a problem with high trading frequency, that is, the risk will increase. A bull market does not mean that there are no stocks that fall. In fact, there are quite a few stocks that fall, and there are a lot of stocks that hit the limit at any time. Now the crazy bull market has not come yet, and the era of general rise is several months away. The first person to join the group was a person named Zhang Yu. After she promised to give a reward after signing the contract, Li Yang gave her some special treatment. Those who come first are treated preferentially, and she helps to liven up the atmosphere in the group all day long, showing her own positions, and praising herself, so that Li Yang's own small account is not used. Moreover, she is quite crazy, asking Li Yang to recommend some high-yield stocks all day long. For the capital plate, high returns mean great risks. Even though Li Yang has reminded her, she still rushed in without hesitation. As a result, she bet right. In 6 days, 5 trading days, she earned more than 60 points. The most on one day, she even earned 17 points with her entire position. At that time, the chips were almost 3 points underwater, and the limit was successfully closed on the same day. At the same time, the stock she sold at the opening also earned almost 3 points. She posted her trading charts in the group every day. A lot of people were clamoring, waiting for Li Yang's book to be signed so that they could give a reward of 1,000 yuan and join the leader group. The benefits of the leader group are much better than those of ordinary groups. Compared with what Zhang Yu did, Li Yang was much more conservative. He would not take risks in terms of capital. After all, he could only understand some capital trends and was not very sure. He didn't want to look for excitement, so he just saved money slowly and waited for the last wave of Chinese magic cars. Losing the capital was equivalent to giving up this opportunity. He didn't want to live a hard life when he needed money the most. Just when Li Yang was about to post the news of his book signing in the group, Zhang Yu's private chat came over. She sent a screenshot. On the screenshot was her reward information, and she directly rewarded 1 million Kidian coins at one time. At the same time, the text said, "Quick, quick, invite me to the leader group, Li Yang, Zhang Yu, what's wrong? Li Yang, I won't refund if I have too much. Zhang Yu, haha, who cares if you refund? Didn't you see that I made 6 million in 5 days? I will reward you every day in the future. Li Yang, sister, please. Li Yang directly invited Zhang Yu to join the leader group. He is not jealous of others making money. They all took great risks to get it. It can only be said that this guy is lucky and likes to go all in. If he fails once, the principal may lose 10 points. From a purely mathematical perspective, if the principal loses 10 points, it will need to increase by 11 points in the future to recover the principal. If the principal loses 50 points, it will need a 100% increase in the future to recover the principal. After Li Yang invited Zhang Yu to join the group, Zhang Yu helped her directly before he edited the information to be posted in the ordinary group. Zhang Yu first took a screenshot of a photo of herself in the leader group, and then said, I don't want to play with you guys anymore. I'll go to the leader group and wait for you guys first. After that, she left the group directly. The group chat immediately exploded. Fuck, has it been signed? More than that, Zhang Yu directly rewarded 1 million Bitcoins. Wow, so rich isn't that nonsense? He made 6 million in 5 days, that's because he has 10 million yuan in capital. With your 20,000 yuan capital, you can't catch the wealth, boss. The reward has been given. Can I join the group? Some people started to throw screenshots. Li Yang replied, I'll pull you in just like that. Some people in the ordinary group began to leave the group one after another, but in a very short time, someone else filled the gap. There were too many people who wanted to apply to join this group, so many that Li Yang was a little suspicious. Is my crappy book that popular? Aren't they all routines that are everywhere? According to this situation of joining the group, there are at least hundreds of people queuing outside. That crappy book only had a few hundred collections in total. But the collection increased very quickly. Because of the contract and the large amount of rewards, it directly rushed to the first place on the new book list. Unlike the later revision of Gideon, you have to read the book to get on the list, and rewards are useless. The leader group soon had more than a dozen people. Zhang Yu received the group members very enthusiastically. After all, it was Saturday and there was no need to trade. With her around, I don't know how much work Li Yang saved. The hard-prepared small account was useless. Li Yang wanted to give her a manager directly. But after thinking about it, he decided to forget it and observe for a while. What if he was an undercover sent by the enemy? In a month at most, many authors should be able to figure out his routine and imitate it. But by the time they are up and running, he will have eaten up the top profits and can even exit calmly. He took out his small account and created a few more groups. An hour later, the leader group had 56 more people. Counting the 10,000 yuan reward from Zhang Yu, 65,000 yuan had been rewarded, and he could take half of it. As for taking money directly, that's impossible. Taking money is a handle. When the alliance leader group is disbanded, everything will be gone. I didn't say in the book what to do if I reward the alliance leader. I just hinted in the group with a small account, and they figured it out on their own. Especially Zhang Yu, she figured it out so quickly. If Li Yang's novel hadn't been signed at that time, she would have been able to join the alliance leader group that day. But this Zhang Yu knows a lot. I will definitely block and delete her when I'm done. After another 2 hours of busy work, more than 100 people have joined the first alliance leader group. It was also time for Li Yang to play games with Bai Qing, so he posted an announcement in the group. This group is a stock exchange group. I don't recommend stocks, sell courses, or accept disciples. It is only used to exchange experiences. Real-time delivery orders will be posted from time to time every day. I strongly remind you that there are risks in the stock market and you must be cautious when trading. Chapter 71 Don't let him be a bootlicker. The 8th day of playing games with Bai Qing. After reaching 500 points in the king rank, the speed of gaining points slowed down, because Li Yang couldn't guarantee that he would be the C in every game. If he didn't bring Bai Qing the burden, he felt that he could reach the top with a 90% win rate. It didn't matter if he brought her. After all, Bai Qing spent money, so she had to have a certain sense of participation. There were still 8 days before the score was released. Could it be possible to reach 500 points? Do you know what the collision between new and old techniques is? Unit 98, the luxurious platinum from the crystal trace, is online. The voice broadcast of the internet cafe sounded, and the whole internet cafe became curious. In this day and age, it is very rare for a platinum demigod to appear in a small internet cafe, and the diamond rank is already the supreme throne. As for the legendary existence of the strongest king, they have no chance to meet it for the time being. After Li Yang turned on the computer, he would turn off this function. At this rank, they frequently encountered various professional players and technical anchors. The combination of Li Yang and Bai Qing has already made a name for themselves in the high-ranking segments of League of Legends. Every time they met, their teammates were like ice and fire. The happy thing is that there is a god on this game. The sad thing is that there is a pig in this game. As soon as the game started, Bai Qing wrote in big words on the public screen, "Honey, blow up their dog heads." Because of the anchor, Bai Qing's words were known to many netizens. In the words of the barrage, "This woman is so coquettish. Who is that Dangwu? With such a pig teammate, he reached 500 points in the king rank. Is there a possibility that the Chu account is his account?" Now he changed his account to play. Obviously he wants to help the girl rush to the first place in the national server. With that strength, can't he play faster by himself? Maybe he just likes someone cheering next to him. But that guy's Yasuo is too strong, and he can play in any position. He is the C in every game. So far, these two accounts have played nearly 200 games. In the last 100 games, he only lost 3 games in total. Is he a professional player from a certain team? After a fierce battle of 32 minutes, Li Yang finally stole the home and won. It was really getting more and more difficult. Theoretically, the last 500 points could be won with 30 consecutive wins, and the shortest time was 3 days. But Bai Qing's strength was only good enough for platinum. In such a high-end game, she was just an ATM, and she had to die more than a dozen times in each game. Bai Qing's voice came from the headset, "My husband is so great. Slurp slurp delicious slurp slurp." Li Yang silently lowered the volume and started the second game. At 2 o'clock, he went offline and started to join the group. Today is Sunday, and the market is not open either, which is convenient for him to deal with the group joining and screen stocks at the same time. There are many people in the ordinary group who did not join the leader group. They stayed there and became the best advertisement for Li Yang. In the early stage, Li Yang would give them a little soup, but he would not give them after a while. After all, the leader group was enough for him to be busy. The prototype of the big bull market has appeared, and it will not be transferred because of individual will. In essence, this round of leveraged bull market is mixed with many factors. Another point is that he will not buy the stocks recommended in the group. At most, he will buy one lot symbolically to represent it. This way, the impact on him can be minimized. By the morning, there were nearly 200 people in the group without him noticing. He really didn't know how so many people appeared. The dense rewards in the background seemed to have never stopped. He felt that he could become a small speculator. These 200 people, how could they have tens of millions in their hands? Zhang Yu alone had 16 million in his hands. But after thinking about it, he decided to forget it. He couldn't control it. Wu Shianqi said something good. It's not advisable to leave too many causes and effects. They can only bring you starting funds. If they make money later, can they share it with you? That's unrealistic. Back to Zhu Ning's apartment, Zhu Ning was not there as usual. He took a shower and went to bed. At this time, Bai Qing, who had already woken up, called Wu Shianqi as soon as possible. "Nephew, go to the internet cafe quickly, then log into my account, and remember to take a video and send it to me." She was too lazy to go, but she wanted to pretend. The strongest king scored 600 points. Li Yang was much more powerful than she thought. When she played games at night, she was so excited. Torturing those big anchors and professional players to the point of being unable to extricate themselves, in the heart of an internet-addicted girl, is no different from a child getting an Ultraman transformation device, not a plastic one, but a real one. Wu Shianqi got up reluctantly, found an internet cafe, turned on the computer, and logged into his account. Machine number 45, the strongest king from Ionia, is online. Wu Shianqi's scalp soon went numb, because many people in the internet cafe gathered around him. Fuck, this is the Dangwu who killed the factory director like a pig last night. Oh my god, he's from our county. Bro, you're so awesome. Brother, why don't you go play professionally? Play a game. XXX is live streaming. Kill him. Wu Shianqi only knew that Li Yang helped Bai Qing gain points, and his rank should not be low. But when he logged into his account, he found out that he was not only a king, but also a fucking king with 600 points. In the first level ranking, he has reached the top 100. What the hell is he playing? He doesn't even know how to play this crappy game. Brother, please leave me your contact information. Wu Xiangqi did nothing but go around the internet cafes, and then film the voice broadcasts of the internet cafes into video and send it to Bai Qing. However, the news that the recently popular Godin pig appeared in the small county of Jiangcheng still spread on the internet. And in Bai Qing's friend list, a guy who hadn't chatted for 10,000 years found her. Sister, have you returned to China? Bai Qing said angrily. Who is your sister? Who are you? The other party. I am Song Kehu. But he found me and asked me if I know anyone in Jiangcheng. I want to ask something. No help. Bai Qing knew Song Kehu. After all, her family has a listed company, which can be considered as breaking the circle. It is normal to know a few second-generation people in the circle. Song Kehu immediately said, Sister, please beg me. I know you don't care about a little money, but as long as you can help me with this, I will give you 1 million yuan in private. Bai Qing, 1 million? She is short of money. She only had a little over 1 million yuan in her hands, and she had spent almost all of it in recent times. Her father did not leave much cash. Apart from stocks, houses, and cars, there was not much money added up. Recently, it was obvious that Li Yang was attracted by money. As long as he put in a little more effort, he would be able to completely deal with that guy. What's the matter? You should know about law. I know you have played in the US server for a long time. A genius appeared in the Chinese server and reached 600 points in the king's rank in a few days. It happened that a friend of mine's team was short of people. Today, it happened that the account of that genius appeared in Jiangcheng login. Please help your brother find him. Huh? What's his ID? He has 2 accounts, one is called Chu, and the other is called Dangwu. It should be a man and a woman. The man is powerful, and the woman is a complete novice. Moreover, she is so coquettish on the internet, she must not look good in real life. Tell the man directly that as long as he comes to our team, I promise to introduce him to beautiful girls and let him stop being a bootlicker. Chapter 72. Can I invite a little apprentice to join the group? Bai Qing blocked Song Kehu when she heard this. Bastard. Am I ugly? This chest, this ass, this face, I can't say it's rare, at least when combined. There are not many people in the world who can surpass it, right? Besides, I was showing off to my husband, not to you? But Song Kehu still found Bai Qing's phone number. Sister, what's wrong with you? Did I offend you? The person you are looking for is my husband. What do you think, Song Kehu? Does he need your money? I can't afford to support him even if he's still a professional player. Climb as far as you can. Bai Qing hung up the phone. I thought it was not a difficult task, and it would be nice to make 1 million at the same time. It turned out to be not difficult, but she didn't care about making that little money. At most, she could sell her car and house. She was sure that she could get Li Yang within 2 million. Although there was still cost effectiveness for more than 2 million, it was not so urgent for her. After all, she was not bad, so there was no need to pay so much. She was willing to pay for Li Yang's excellent ability, but she would not buy without restraint. Anyway, she was just happy. She logged into her account and looked at her rank. She felt that she was about to get the highest honor in the game. Many people added these 2 accounts as friends, including team managers, major live broadcast platforms, and advertisers, hoping that they could change their names to a certain guild or a certain platform. The prices were not low, and the lowest was 2,000 yuan a day. Some live broadcast platforms even gave good signing bonuses and guaranteed that as long as they reached the top, they would receive an additional reward of 100,000 yuan. If they could be the first in a stable season, they would directly reward 600,000 yuan. You can make money by playing games, but the premise is that you have talent and work hard. She talked to those people for a long time. Anyway, she would not agree, so she just took it as an experience of the treatment of a master. At the same time, she also began to find relevant personnel to help her get the authorization of the song. It shouldn't be a big problem. In fact, there is a dog-licking mentality all over the world. For example, if a song in China is favored by foreign countries and wants to be authorized, they basically charge a symbolic amount of money and even provide a lot of help. The same is true for foreigners. If their music is liked by foreigners, they will be happy and will not stop anything. If they really refuse to authorize or deliberately disgust others, she can only change 30% and still dare to release it. Good music does not matter if the lyrics are good, and good lyrics do not matter if the music is good. They are like a rope entangled together. Whoever finds the end first will have the initiative. Coincidentally, the end is on her side. After Li Yang woke up, Zuning brought him food from outside. He ate while replying to some messages. For example, Wu Xianqi said this today. Friend Li, teach me how to play games. The reason was that after he helped Bai Qing log into the account, he was approached by several girls. They all wanted to invite him to play games together. But he was not very good at it, and he would be exposed if he played. In addition, there were messages sent by Zhang Bangsha, which were daily inquiries and chats. Both of them had their own things to do. And they had chatted enough before. During this period, they were at a stage where they could stop chatting at any time. Zuning said, "Do you still need to go online at night? How about resting here? I will stay with other female teachers for a few days." No, I have something else to do online. I won't be busy after the results come out. Zuning knew about this, so he nodded. Anyway, the results were only a few days away. At around 4 o'clock, Li Yang came to the internet cafe, writing a manuscript while dealing with the group's affairs. There were not many applicants that day, only more than 30. After all, it was Sunday, and he didn't come up with any useful information. In the evening, I accompanied Bai Qing to get 80 points, which was much less efficient than before. In the diamond rank, more than 200 points can be obtained in 3 or 4 hours. Although now there are more wins and fewer losses, as long as you lose a game, it is equivalent to an hour of wasted play. June 18th has not yet become the so-called e-commerce festival. In the eyes of capital, anything can become a festival. As long as you can make money, selling your ancestors is a piece of cake. A shares opened on Monday. Li Yang took the lead in buying several tickets in several bidding stages, holding one lot each, and then sent a screenshot to the group. I am optimistic about the trend of these stocks today. First of all, from the perspective of funds, there were funds that wanted to get chips during the call auction, but they failed. It is expected that they will drop a few points after the opening. Xiang Yu chatted privately, and first threw out a screenshot of her reward of 10,000 yuan today. Boss, where's my wealth code today? Li Yang, he searched for a while, sent it over, and said, at your own risk, don't worry, I understand the rules. But those who join the group may not be the same. Li Yang also knew that this kind of thing was inevitable. But he couldn't take the initiative to say anything. In case of being screenshotted, it would be easy for people to take it as evidence of his stock recommendation. Xiang Yu seemed to have the same idea and soon sent a message in the group. I remind everyone that the boss shared his experience because we are his senior book friends. No matter how great the boss is, he cannot predict the future direction of funds. The opinions he can give are based on the current situation. The total funds in the group are not much, which has little impact on the market, but if someone spreads it and causes a large amount of external funds to enter the market, the logic of the market will change. Also, don't talk about whether your brothers are reliable or not. Who dares to say that others are reliable except yourself? You want to help others get rich with good intentions, but don't turn it into buying a coffin for yourself. It has to be said that Xiang Yu's words hit the point directly and also described the consequences as very serious. Li Yang silently gave her a thumbs up. Good person. No need to show up. After 10 o'clock, he went back to rest. When he woke up and had dinner, he came to the internet cafe again and found that his QQ friend application list had exploded. The results of the several stocks recommended on Monday were very good. It was the first cooperation after charging, which made many people jealous. He took a look at the backstage and found that more than 300 alliance leaders had given rewards today. This was equivalent to giving himself more than 100,000 yuan in principal. He was busy for nearly 2 hours before he pulled hundreds of people into the alliance leader group. So far, the first alliance leader group was full, and the second alliance leader group had 60 people. After finishing all this, he had time to read Xiang Yu's private message. Boss, look at my performance today, 11 points. Li Yang, the stocks he recommended in the morning had a maximum of only 5 or 6 points, and a minimum of only 2 or 3 points. But Xiang Yu's stock hit the daily limit again. Li Yang had an illusion that he was really a stock god? Obviously, the risk was very high, and the funds on the market were not clear. Awesome. Anyway, he didn't make much money today. Zuning's account was meaningless. His father's account had a principal of 200,000, but it was only 220,000 yuan so far. Xiang Yu, it's all the big guys who recommended it. Actually, I was always losing money before. By the way, Can I invite a little apprentice of mine to join the group? That little apprentice's family is relatively poor. How about I pay for her joining the group? Happy New Year, Zio Lizzie wishes everyone a Happy New Year. I hope that everyone will have a prosperous new year, handsome men and beautiful women, academic progress, career advancement, harmonious family, good health, and everything goes well. Chapter 73 Sister will never treat you unfairly. In fact, with the rewards from Xiangyu, there is no need to tell me. Even if I want a manager, I will probably give it to him. He has already rewarded tens of thousands of yuan. Even if there is no transaction on Sunday, he still rewarded 10,000 yuan. Then I will give you a manager? You can pull anyone you want, after all, she is the sponsor, and she should be respected. Who knows, the increase may not be able to continue in the future, and she will have to give me money. Xiangyu, don't worry, I have always been a very disciplined person. If you need any help, just tell me. If there is anything that is inconvenient to say, I can also say it for you. Well, okay, Li Yang agreed on the surface, but he didn't really believe it. Who knows if she is here to trick him? This Xiangyu, when the time comes, must be the first to block her. She knows too much? If it doesn't work, write a script and steal her QQ number. Bah. This thing is illegal. Violating regulations and breaking the law are two different natures. After a while, Li Yang received 10,000 yuan in rewards, and in the second leader group, there was a new person named Stock Trading turned to Ishan fees. I clicked on his personal information and saw that it was a small account with a star. A lot of people in the group were small accounts, including Xiangyu. After finishing this matter, I wrote some more manuscripts, ate some food, and it was time to play games with Bai Qing again. It was close to 700 points in the king's rank. Both of them entered the top 50, and the opponents they met were extremely strong. After playing for 4 hours, it was only 50 points. Li Yang felt that there was no way to do this, as he had given Bai Qing enough sense of participation. So, after Bai Qing rested, he secretly played 6 games by himself, and won all 6 games, directly raising his score to 800 points in the king's rank, temporarily ranking 13th in Telecom Zone 1. When it comes to games, he has everything, whether it is experience or talent. For players of this era, it is not an exaggeration to say that it is a dimensionality reduction attack. Although it is not a 4-dimensional versus a 3-dimensional, it can be regarded as a 3.5-dimensional versus a 3-dimensional. It may not be so obvious when playing professionally, but it is definitely a mess when playing rank. In the remaining time, he started looking for stocks and then wrote a review so that he could post it directly in the group in the morning. During the call auction, he cleared the stocks he bought yesterday and used that money to buy some other stocks. After he sent it out, the group was obviously much more disciplined than before. Someone took the initiative to greet him. Everyone chooses individually, don't concentrate too much funds on a certain stock. There are 500 people in the group, and the total amount of funds is not small. Once the market crashes, everyone will lose money. After the delivery, post the screenshots as soon as possible to give everyone some tips. Don't do it secretly. I suggest that everyone's funds be integrated and we will evenly distribute the funds tomorrow. Li Yang must have benefited from the bull market, otherwise he would not have chosen anything. In fact, there must be some authors who use this model to make money this time, but they are definitely not too high. With strong strength, who the hell would write books to make money? From the result of the final handling of this matter, it can be found that most people ultimately failed to avoid the collapse. Those who enter the market early can make some money, but those who enter late are afraid of losing a lot. He was also a half-baked person. At most he was a little more sensitive to funds. After all, he had been exposed to so much data, and there were professionals to help him analyze it. At about 10 o'clock, after confirming today's market, he went offline and left. Zuning was still not on the apartment, and Li Yang didn't know what she was busy with recently. When Li Yang had dinner and came to the internet cafe again to review the market, he found that the stock he recommended to Xiangyu was directly hit by the limit down at the end of the trading day. This is not a good thing. He still hopes that Xiangyu's luck will continue to be good, so that he can make money. So he hurriedly found Xiangyu's friends and prepared to comfort him. After all, he had too much verification information on QQ. A quick look showed that the number of alliance leaders in the author's background had increased by more than 200. In this mode, an author has created a record of 2,700 alliance leaders, and he now has 800 alliance leaders. When he opened Xiangnu's friends, he found that she had sent him a message, which was also today's profit and loss data. Didn't you buy that stock today? He found that Xiangnu had a floating profit of 6 points today, 2 of which were the data at the high opening of the stock yesterday, and the other 4 points were from buying another stock. Xiangnu, haha, I don't buy every stock. After you recommend it to me, I will carefully watch the market for a while. If I find that there is something wrong with the funds, I will change the stock. Li Yang, so you are playing the pig to eat the tiger. Xiangnu immediately explained, but my stock selection ability is not good. It is difficult to choose a suitable one among so many stocks, so your contribution is still very great. I specially rewarded you 20,000 yuan today. Li Yang likes this Xiangnu too much? If there are more people like this, he won't have to pull people into the group. After all, too many people will really make things chaotic. Thank you, I wanted to comfort you a few words. Li Yang began to deal with the new people in the group, and was busy for more than an hour. After he was done, he found that Bai Qing had sent a message. Husband, why are you playing games secretly? If you want to play, you can tell me. I will stay up a little later to accompany you. What's the point of accompanying you? It's too late. I will rush to the remaining points tonight, but I will take you to the top in the last round. Oh, please don't. Can I pay more? No, it's really too tiring. Continuing to play with Bai Qing, 4 hours of high-intensity games, not getting a single point, is a pure waste of life. In his eyes, making money is always more important than fun. Even after experiencing the retro version, this crappy game has begun to get a little tired. If it weren't for money, who would play? But I just want to play games with my husband. The rank is too high. You don't have game experience. I have my husband's experience. Husband, do you want to experience me? I can't help it now. I'll drive to pick you up, and you can experience me while playing games. Okay, Xiangnu is chatting with a new apprentice. This little apprentice's life is too pitiful. His father found a stepmother, and the stepmother gave birth to a boy. Now the family doesn't want her anymore. She just finished a college entrance examination. Her estimated score is not bad, but she has no money to go to college. It is so similar to her childhood situation. Because she is a girl and she caught up with the family planning policy, her family gave her to relatives in the countryside. Although she is back with her biological parents now, the trauma of her childhood can never be healed in her lifetime. She sent a message to her apprentice, "Little sister, thank you for recovering my loss today. I will never treat you unfairly. I will give you 20% of the money I earned today." Chapter 74. Don't be pressured. Li Yang eventually played 4 games with Bai Qing every day, and they lost more often. Winning 2 games was considered a weak opponent. But even so, at 11 o'clock in the evening on June 22nd, he still managed to take Bai Qing to the top. He knew the benefits of being the number 1 in the national server, but those benefits could not be realized quickly, and he had to sign many contracts. He was not like Bai Qing, who gave 200,000 yuan without doing anything else. This matter was completely over. Honey, the scores will be released the day after tomorrow, right? What do you think? Bai Qing already knew roughly how many points Li Yang could get. According to Wu Xiangqi's description, he usually had more than 3 books, but less than 2. Even if he studied for the last month, how much could he improve? It happened that her family had certain resources, including in the education industry. For example, Wu Xiangqi's father. 700. Li Yang's answer made Bai Qing confused. 700 points? Is this called an estimate? In the entire county, no one has ever scored more than 700 points in all these years. Anyway, the top scorer in liberal arts and science in the entire city has always been in the neighboring county. But she still said with a smile, "It's good that your husband has this confidence. If not, don't worry. You can apply for Zhangzhou University. They have a 3rd-level major, nursing. Although the tuition is a bit expensive, don't worry, I will help you pay for it. As long as you can go to Zhangzhou University, I will find a way to get someone to help you change your major. This is within the rules, and the most you can do. After all, it is a unified national filing. If you can't pass the filing line, it doesn't matter how much you spend. Unless there are some gaps in some private undergraduate schools, public undergraduate schools don't have this way. Of course, if you do it in advance, and get an international student, a recommended student or an independent enrollment student, there are certain loopholes to exploit, but it is obviously too late now. Without waiting for Li Yang to speak, Baikwing continued, "It's okay if you repeat your studies. My family happens to have an apartment near number 1 middle school. I'll hire a nanny to take care of you every day, and I'll hire a few tutors for you. With your intelligence, you'll definitely be able to get into 985 university next year." Li Yang, does your husband have no spare change? How about you write me another song and I'll give you 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan is really not a small amount. It's just that it's not very attractive to Li Yang now, because copying songs is too troublesome. Of course, the main reason is that novels make more money than you think. He can now add more than 100 alliance leaders every day from Monday to Friday, and 20 to 30 every day on Saturday and Sunday. In a week, he can get about 900,000 yuan in rewards. With the data from last Saturday and Sunday, the number of alliance leaders has reached 1,300. In a total of 1 week, in addition to Xiangnu's reward of 110,000 yuan, others also rewarded 1.3 million yuan. I haven't had much inspiration recently. I'll talk about it after I take a break. After all, he was his first-generation sponsor, so Li Yang still left room for maneuver. Baikwing's 200,000 yuan also helped him a lot. Whether it was the novel manuscript fee or the bonus, it would not be received until around July 10th. At the same time, it was this 200,000 yuan holding that quickly won the trust of readers. If you don't buy stocks yourself, who would believe that you have the ability? Zhu Ning's account can indeed be used as a demonstration, but it is a bit troublesome to log into the PC. You need various verification codes, and the mobile phone screenshot analysis is not professional at first glance. We have to wait for the scores. I will accompany my husband too. Li Yang checked the manuscripts in his hand. The manuscripts in his hand are enough to update for half a month. After 12 o'clock, it will be June 23rd. Tomorrow night at 11:45, you can check the college entrance examination scores. Li Yang plans to make more manuscripts. Starting tomorrow, he will stop staying up late. When he returned to the apartment, he found that Zhu Ning did not go out today. "You are back. Have you eaten? If not, take a shower first, and I will buy it for you." Zhu Ning, as always, cares about Li Yang's food, clothing and shelter. Li Yang smiled and said, "I've eaten. I won't take a shower for now. I feel like sleeping after taking a shower. I'll read a book and go to bed at 6 or 7 in the evening to adjust my biological clock." Young, forced adjustment. Sleep from 6 or 7 to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and sleep half an hour more every day. In just a few days, the biological clock can be completely adjusted. It's not okay when you're old. Dare to endure it? Then I dare to die for you to see. Zhu Ning was stunned for a moment, but soon understood that Li Yang was ready to synchronize his schedule with her. "Really? Then let's have lunch together at noon." "I'll go out before she finished her words." Li Yang said, "No drinking." Zhu Ning laughed. "No drinking, no drinking." It's not that Li Yang is doing this in vain, but he's afraid. With Zhu Ning after drinking, how can he sleep? He had been up all night and was quite sleepy. If he tossed around all night again, his young body couldn't stand it. Li Yang came to the desk, took out the textbook and started flipping through it, occasionally doing a few related questions. In Zhu Ning's eyes, Li Yang is a very studious student with a positive attitude. And he feels very safe and has his own opinions. Although she is a little older, she is always suppressed by Li Yang when she is with him. But this feeling is very comfortable. She hopes that someone will make the decision for everything, and she only needs to do some insignificant little things, and life will be so easy. Let Li Yang worry about those things. After waiting for almost 2 hours, she quietly went out. When she came back again, she found that Li Yang had finished his shower and changed his clothes. "I will die if I look at him." "Oh, I might die. I just don't know how I will die. But it seems that it is not bad." During the meal, Zhu Ning said, "My parents are busy recently and they don't have time to come back, but don't worry, I will help you with your studies." She knew that Li Yang had good grades before, but he was delayed for more than 2 years. Now he goes to make up for a year. "I can't say for sure that he can go to a good school, at least a good second-tier or first-tier school. The chance is still very good." Yet, Li Yang knew that this was a bad label on him. "If I were a candidate for a key university, my parents would definitely come back to check my grades with me no matter how busy they were and give up the money." Now his label is that he is an average student, and there is still an uncertainty factor whether he will return. To put it bluntly, it is not worth it for his parents to make a special trip back. Losing a few $1,000s is a small matter, but the whole day's travel back and forth is the most terrible. I just went through this once half a month ago, and if I go through it again, my body will definitely not be able to bear it. Zuning said, "Don't be stressed, your parents still have confidence in you." Chapter 75, Remarks on the Release. New book is on the shelves. Thank you all for following me for so many days. There are many old faces and new faces. I am actually an old hand. I have been writing for 10 years. The total number of words I have written must be 30 million. However, this is the second book officially on the shelves of Kidian. A few years ago, I wrote wireless articles. 2 years ago, there was a label of Great God next to my pen name. Unfortunately, I haven't written for a long time and it was removed. It would be a lie to say that I don't want to take it back, but who can say this well? For an old man in his 30s to compete with those young people, I probably don't have the capital. I just want to write the story I have always wanted to write while there is still some gas in the tank. Of course, taking the opportunity to make money from everyone is the core, to support the family. So, after the shelves, I hope that brothers and sisters can contribute a few subscriptions. I have reserved everyone's free chapter cards several days in advance. You can't say that there are no. I have read every comment from everyone, whether it is kind or malicious. I didn't respond to any of the comments. At most, I felt that the rhythm was not good, so I deleted the comment. I also banned a few people who cursed me. After all, although I am a worker, I have dignity. If I were still young, I would have fought back long ago. Isn't this not young? What if someone curses me and still subscribes? I still have to make this money happily. After the launch, you will need to open a fan value to speak. It's not much, just 100 fan values, and you can reach it by subscribing to the chapters updated on the day. After the small talk, let's start talking about this book. Some people say that the pace of this book is too slow. The popular pace is from rebirth to the end of the college entrance examination, or even the scores have come out and the university notification letters have arrived. But I started writing this book a month before the college entrance examination. To be honest, I really haven't written anything that is irrelevant to the plot. Everything is paving the way for making money, for life, and for learning. At the beginning, the editor told me that the protagonist's admission to Tsinghua and Peking University is too high, and it will be difficult to write because there is no sense of substitution. In fact, there is indeed a reason in this regard. The protagonist's roommate is a top student, and the classmates around him are top students. How can such a person be written as a villain? Learning is justice. In fact, I didn't plan to write any villains. So far in this book, the protagonist's head teacher is at most half a villain. Liu Dao is an extremely selfish person. Putting aside the conflicts of interest, he is actually a qualified teacher. He will also be slightly relieved because the protagonist turns back. But in the end, he can't resist the importance of interests in his heart, and he goes to the dark step by step. The contrast between Liu Dao at the beginning and Liu Dao during this period is actually a manifestation of his selfish character. Many people have said that it is useless for the protagonist to go to Tsinghua and Peking University because he can't keep up with the learning progress. I admit that there is still a big gap between the protagonist and the real genius, even compared with Zhang Bangsha, there is a big gap. But if you don't struggle, how can you know that you can do it? In order for the protagonist to stay in Tsinghua and Peking University seriously, I have actually done a lot of preparation, and I will unfold it bit by bit next. Your comments have helped me a lot, such as some discussions on human nature and parental education. Sometimes I don't think comprehensively, and I rely on the comments to support me to expand this story more. Like Bai Qing. Finally, I have to say that I am not good at writing nonsense. This book is expected to be completed at 2.6 million words. Unless you all yell at me to write until the end of time, the outline can only support this number of words. Regarding the update, it will be available at 12 noon today. At that time, one chapter will be updated every 5 minutes, and 10 chapters and 30,000 words will be updated within an hour. There are also 2 chapters of 6,000 words for the leader to update, which will be released at 10 o'clock in the evening. Finally, I would like to shout and beg for subscriptions. By the way, I will add pictures for several female characters and put them in the comments below. The client does not allow it recently. Zhang Bangsha, Bai Qing, Zhu Ning, Wang Manqi. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.